for some people to filter in here. So we'll see what happens. Pull this up on YouTube so I can read comments. Yeah. I already got one person in here for right now. I can't seem to pull up the video on my tablet for whatever reason. I have this problem every time. So what's up out there? David Dorda, how you doing? We got 8 people in here. Happy New Year, everybody. Figured I'd wait a little later in the day to go live, give everybody a chance to get over their hangovers and their New Year's partying. Figured start out the new year with a live, kind of let everybody know some of the directions we're going this year. James Perkins, how you doing? Happy New Year. You guys got just me tonight. Mikey D, Happy New Year, brother. Tall Paul, if you watch this or something later, make sure you hit us up on Instagram because you guys were the one who, you was the one who won our autographed Jack Skellington mask. So make sure you comment down below or hit me up on Instagram when you collect your prize. Let's see what else we got going on here. How was your Christmas and New Year? Oh, it was great. We had a ball. We were sick. I was sick most of the way through Christmas. I started getting sick the day before Christmas. It didn't really fully set in until Christmas, the day after Christmas, and then I was down all week. Luckily, I just started feeling better last night, so I could at least bring in the New Year's feeling pretty decent. But yeah, we got that COVID. It's like my third time. It's like our third time having that in the last couple of years. How's everybody else's holidays going? Guys getting interesting Christmas gifts? Well, to the 10 of y'all in here, appreciate you guys stopping in and hanging out. Well, we're going to be on here for a little while. We're going to talk about some things we got coming up in the future, what we're going to do with the channel, some projects on the way, some sponsorships we've picked up, me and Miss Cat. We can actually talk about it now because they've actually come through, and I'm going to be making some videos about it pretty soon. But we've been sponsored by a couple of different companies, and it's not going to be anything Temu or nothing like that. We wouldn't really promote anything that we wouldn't promote anything that doesn't have anything to do with our channel to our viewers. So please believe anything I'm going to bring to you guys promotion wise, it's going to be stuff that's germane to the things that we do around here and the stuff that y'all love to watch. Anyway, Rudy Sanchez, are you guys married? No, we're not married, but we will be before the end of this year. We've been saving money to make sure that we can get Kat the ring that she wants, and we can do it the way we want to do it. So, but, yeah. Trip, Run the Trap Black. Happy New Year! It's my birthday. Love the video. Well, happy birthday to you! New Year's, baby. I'm glad you like the videos. We always put out the best content we possibly can. Congrats, man. Yeah, we'll bring you guys along. You know, me and Kat's already discussed about it. We're at least gonna get some of the footage, show you guys some of it when we figure exactly out how we're going to do it. I got 17 people in here. I guess anybody got them massive hangovers? Actually, I woke up pretty good, and then I went to the gym today, so I can't complain. No cabbage and corned beef for me this year, though. That might be a mistake. Supposed to be lucky. So, since we got 17 of you guys in here tonight, we're going to talk about some of the special things we're going to be doing this year. First and foremost, we're coming up on January, next 2 weeks from now. We're going to be going to Indianapolis to the Greater Indoor Marketplace, the flea marketplace. It's like the largest indoor garage sale in Indiana. Then shortly after that, in March, we're going to be going to Comic-Con. And no hangover when you don't drink. Hey, I figured out the cheat code to drinking. I figured out that if I take 2 Zofran, 4 ibuprofen, I can drink 5 shots of Patron and be just fine the next morning. So that's the same. I drink the same way every time. Last time I tried 6 shots, I was sick. I was sick all night. So, but yeah, back to what we was going on. Some of the things we're doing. We got some promotions going on. I'm gonna be promoting some some nostalgia. I got a guy who's going to be sending me some really fancy custom shoes that he makes. He's got a big following. His name was just brought up on Joe Rogan. We're going to be promoting some Star Wars stuff to you guys. Just the nostalgia that we love to bring you guys. We've got some people who's wanting us to promote their products. So, in October, we've just got if you guys follow Retro Rick, then you guys know that Retro Rick's going to be doing a convention of his own, kind of like Really Rad Weekend or the Southeastern Game Exchange or whatever. He's going to be doing his own right there in Conway, Arkansas. And Miss Cat and I have already committed to being there at his Comic-Con, or his video game con, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be our very first pop-up ever. So we're very excited to be there for that. And that's going to be like October, I think it's 12th and 13th. So we'll keep you guys posted as that comes on. Philip Wayne Scott says, when and where will you be in Indy? Well, we'll be in Indy at the fairgrounds, I think it is. Kat does the navigating for me. She has the MapQuest and all that stuff. I'm not sure where that place is. I posted it in the last video. So that's where we're going to be, and we're going to be there Friday, because it starts on Friday and it goes into Saturday. But by the time you get there Saturday, it'll all be picked over. So we're going to be there Friday morning. Trip, Run the Pat Trap Black is the custom shoes from Marco. No, the custom shoes are from a guy called Bull Ayres. Bullairs. Bull Ayres. And he takes some of the best. I mean, he takes Nike Air Force Ones and stuff like that, and he's made Willy Wonka shoes. He's made Mickey Mouse shoes, the Toxic Crusaders, Game Boy shoes, all kinds of stuff. And we're really excited about this promotion with him. So when you guys see these shoes, you're gonna freak out. So is it this Friday? No, it's not this Friday. It's Friday. I think it's either 12th or 13th. I don't know the exact dates. Rudy Sanchez says Kat is the navigator. Yeah, she reads the MapQuest. She books all the dates for us. She takes the time to go and call all of these communities around here for their town-wide rummage sales and has the calendar already lined up and ready for us to go. She's really kind of the hub of how things go. I'm just really the hunter, Unless, on days I go out by myself, on the weekends when she's working, I have to navigate for myself. But other than that, usually we went over there on Thursday and cased the area anyway, so. Vinny Sports Flip says, Yo Snow, love the AOP, Happy New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year, Keith. Vinny Sports Flips. What toys are you looking for, your holy grail? Oh man, well right now there's two toys on my list, and both of them are toys that I did have within the last few years, and I've lost them. I had if you know the Steel Brigade G.I. Joe, it's really rare. My parents had sent out when I was a kid to have me this custom G.I. Joe made. It was Steel Brigade. And I got it, and I've had it for years. I've still got the patch that went with it and the paperwork to come with it, but I've lost the action figure. And as a matter of fact, I think Froggy might have ended up with it. I think he might have bought it in a bag of G.I. Joes. The second toy I'm looking for right now is a character called Half Court Giraffe from the late line of TMNT. And my thing was, that was one of my favorite toys when I was a kid, one of my favorite characters from Ninja Turtles, even though he was lesser known. I sold Froggy a whole box full, one of them collector's cases full of turtles, and lo and behold, my half-court giraffe was in there. So now those are two things on the docket this year I got to get, and it's hard to justify spending $375 on two toys, because if you watch our channel, that's just not what we're about around here. We're about steals and deals. So let me get back to the comments here. Sounds legit. My homie used to make some custom airbrush shoes, and it's crazy how they can turn out. Oh, this is far beyond custom airbrush shoes. This dude, his shoes are $400 and $500 a pair. They sell out within hours. Like I said, we're extremely thrilled to even be a part of this. So make sure you guys go check out Bull Ayres. It's on Instagram for sure. You'll see. It's insane. Philip Wayne Scott says, you're going to be a vendor there or just going to buy? We're going to be a vendor. Me and Kat have never once set up or done a pop-up or anything like that. And we've got so much vintage clothes. That's what we do. And in all this stuff that we pick up, I was like, there's no better time than just do it now, and do it at Retro Rick's. So that's one of our things. And when you resell, the hunter becomes the hunted. I ain't worried about a single hunter out there, because ain't nobody doing it better than me. So, E.T. got vintage. Where's your shadow? Miss Cat's not feeling well tonight. Like I said, we was both sick over the holidays, and our little guy was sick too. I got sick first. he got sick second, then Kat got sick third. So she's kind of how you say it, lagging a day behind. Like me and him are about over it today, and she'll probably be about over it tomorrow. So you guys got just me tonight. Sorry, nothing pretty to look at. Hit Fine says Yowza. Blaine Newhart says I got my half court giraffe when I was younger. Cool piece for sure. Yeah, I get it. What really sucks is when I went and looked for it. I went to look for it and it dawned on me. I was like, oh man, I know where it was and I know exactly where it went. I mean, it could have been worse. Could have went to somebody who didn't really care about toys at all. If you've watched Froggy's newest video, that he's buying tons of turtles, but it just hurts because that was mine when I was a kid, and I know there's probably really no chance of getting it back. Not my original one, that is. Anyhow, Heartland Vintage. I got some of those Bulls Airs Mad Balls. They're a cool brand. Yeah, yep. Like I said, we're just excited that he even wanted to work with us. So he's sending me a pair of shoes, and we're gonna review them for you guys. ETV got Vinny says hope she gets better soon. I think I have brought up to Froggy, and I think that he sold those. I think he sold all those Loose Turtles figures in his rummage sale video here a while back. So it is what it is. I'll get another one, but this time I'm just going to do it, how I would do it. I'm going to buy it in the original package, because if you see my shelves around here, I have a thing about having my stuff in the package. It don't display as well because it takes up so much shelf space, but, Okay, Ruby says, okay, had the flu twice, both sides of Christmas. Got to go to bed. It's late here in the UK. Take care, bro, and keep killing it with your videos. Love your stuff. All right, Em. Thanks for stopping in. Always love to hear people from across the pond watching us. We always go late, so we always go live at 6 or 7 o'clock here. I sometimes forget that across the pond is a lot later, or in Australia. So, but yeah, 19 people in here. Make sure you guys are smashing the like button. We're just in here shooting the breeze tonight, kind of bringing in the new year, letting you guys know what we've got on the horizon. For everybody, all 5,081 of you guys who stick around and watch our videos, we want you guys to know that it's not lost on us, and that we're going to bring you guys top quality content all the way through next year as well. So, zoom in and show us these shelves one by one. I would if I didn't have my phone mounted and charging right now, because the battery's about dead. I forgot to charge my phone before I went live. But what I'm going to do one day this week is, I was trying to figure out how to put one of these products into a video, because videos that aren't rummage sale and stuff tend to tank. And apparently you guys didn't even like our New Year's video, because it's down like really low, and it never did take off. And I really thought with the influx of, the 200 or 300 new subs that we got, that was like, well, that's the perfect opportunity if you're a new sub and you don't like going and watching somebody's backlog. Hey, that was the best way to find out everything we picked up in 2023. But it's not doing so well, so I'm not sure. But what I will do is, on the video where I do one of these promotional products, the other half of the video is going to be a shelf tour, because I think it's due. This is like the 5th or 6th time I've been asked to do a shelf tour, because I know that these angles that me and Kat shot, you just can't see all the stuff on these shelves. Let's see here. The Holy Company, a toy you want to find this year besides the ones you named. A toy I want to find this year besides the ones I named. Well, there's toys that are always on the top of my list. It's always Scratch the Cat. I'd like to find Scratch the Cat or Hotspot in the wild. Definitely would like to find some more horror figures. That's one of the things I'd like to get into a little bit more. Some more horror figures, like some of the NECA figures, some of the Friday the 13th stuff. But shelf tour would be awesome. Oh yeah, well, y'all still thinking about selling again on Whatnot? Actually, we don't really. I don't think we're going to go back to Whatnot, but there is something that we are considering going into. Kevin, the Commonwealth Picker, ADH Dave, Carrie from American Arbitrage. They have reached out to me about being on their website Dibbit, and I am signed up on there, and I am eligible to sell. I missed their first their raid train. Because I just wasn't prepared by the time that they got a hold of me. And then over this last week, my goal was to set up some stuff and get it listed on there. But like I said, this sickness set us back. It just didn't get done. But yeah, we're going to be looking into doing some live sales on Dibbit. So you guys might check into that. You download an app called District, And then once you download that app, you typed in Dibdit, D-I-B-B-I-T, D-I-B-D-I-T, Dibdit. And, you know, there's all kinds of cool stuff on there, and I think it'll be the next Whatnot based on what I've seen. But the thing about it is you can list stuff and you can leave it listed like on eBay, and you can also do live sales as well. So it's kind of like combining Whatnot and eBay. Because that was one of the things about Whatnot I didn't like, was that every time I posted a sale, I had to list every item, and then once that sale was over, those items weren't listed no more. Now, me, I'm not one of these people. I don't have enough time to list on a half a dozen different platforms if it's not going to stay on there. So, let's see here. Do you have some mask or into? I have one thing mask, and since I got it sitting right behind me, I can pull it out a little bit. And the only reason why I have this particular thing is, as I said, my dad was a trucker, and I'm into semi-trucks. So, it was very hard to find semi-truck toys when I was a kid. At least toys that were, big enough that you could play with in like the G.I. Joe realm. So, yeah, I have the masked rhino here, 100% complete. You got the little, I think it even has a little extra figure even in here. But yeah, this is the only mask toy I have. So we'll put that back down there. Far drive, but I'd be down to be a vendor at Rick's also. Well, me and Kat, we already know that we got to pay for our spot, and it's going to be a monumental trip. We're going to rent a van. We're going to take a lot of merchandise. We feel like we're going to make money, but really it's about just that being there and being in the experience. And we're hoping to meet guys like Editor Riff and Retro Wolf and Phoenix Resale and so on and so forth. So it's also a big networking thing for us too, because me and Kat firmly believe that we're going to be one of the few people there selling vintage clothes, and we got some of the best stuff around. So I really believe we're going to come out of it making money and further expanding our reach on this channel. I'll have to check out Dibdit. Yeah, make sure you check out Dibdit. Dave, Dave, ADH Dave, Carrie, and Kevin from Commonwealth Picker, they run it. It's their whole little app, and people like Mojo Cash are already selling on there. Biggs Mike's Fire. I mean, it's already got a nice market of people on there selling stuff, so I highly suggest you check it out. Nice truck. Have you come across anything that has totally stumped you, like defects or odd colors which shouldn't have been released? No, I don't really, well, I mean, what are you talking about, toy-wise? The only thing I've really found toy-wise like that, I think it was a Master Splinter in a Bebop packaging. I've got it somewhere in the camper. I'll have to pull it out sometime, but it's just a missed package. It says it was one character, and it's a different character that's in the package. So, yeah, I don't find too many unique or variants. So, what else have we got going on this year? We definitely like to pull some more sponsorships. If you guys check out a guy named Ray Toffer. He does a little skit on TikTok and Instagram about beautiful, luxurious Muncie, which is like about a half hour down the road. It's one of the bigger towns around here. They have a college there called Ball State. But what he does is he does food reviews, but he also does some other things. He does this thing called Survive Indiana. If you type that in on YouTube, Survive Indiana. It's like Survivor, except he puts it together at this lake over there by Matthews. And he does his own little thing of Survivor. And me and Miss Kat's been in discussion with him about maybe in August being on his next season of Survive Indiana. And so you might get to see your boy Miss Kat go out here and do some Survivor, backstabbing, gameplay and things like they, because me and Miss Kat spent a lot of time watching shows like the reality elimination TV shows. I Love New York, I Love Money, Flavor of Love, things of that nature. So we feel like we can play those games for sure. So he says, Chris Bay says, definitely go on the show for sure. We want to. We sit and binge watch all 3 seasons. I don't recommend the first season because he was still trying to find his footing and it was trying to, but by the time he got the second season down and third season, he had the editing down, the camera angles, and me and Kat was fully invested. So and I reached out to him immediately, like, man, the next time you record one of those shows, me and Kat want on it. I said, we'll promote it on our channel. So, do you list the same items across multiple platforms? I only sell on eBay right now, and I'm looking for more reach. So, how do you do that without listing each item individually on each platform? TWDR Studios. Wait, I would suggest one of these cross-posting platforms. Me and Kat personally don't use them. like I don't know what they're even called anymore. Like the Philly Flipper and all them are always promoting Vendu or something. I can't. I think it might be what it is, but they're cross posting platforms. I sell on eBay and Poshmark strictly. That's it. I like I said, I'm considering this dipped it once I get over this, get the rest of the way over this sickness and into the new year. And we, since we've changed our backdrop, I have to fix the other corner over here. So it's because it's kind of in disarray. And then we've got products sitting all over the house because we was going to send some stuff off to a couple friends of ours who have a booth in Cincinnati. But that kind of fell through this morning. So now we've kind of got to go through all this stuff, determine what's good enough to go on Poshmark, what's good enough to go on eBay, and then the rest of the stuff is going to be boxed up and put away for this summer. And we're going to have our own rummy sale again. But this time we're going to record it for you guys. Like last year, we had a big rummy sale. I didn't think to bring the camera and record it, which I should have, because how we made, I don't remember, $1,800 in 2 days at this rummy sale, selling a bunch of stuff that we picked up that just wasn't good enough to go on eBay or stuff in our estimation. And we're fully intending to do that again. Might even use that money to fund our trip to Retro Rick's. So let me see here. List perfect. The one vendor I did was a great experience. Donnie DeChico's in the house. What's up, Donnie DeChico? We missed you last time. So we got Donald R. DeChico. Vinny Sports Flips that I used. List perfectly. That's the one. List perfectly. We don't do that stuff. I don't even like to learn new platforms or new apps. That's why I missed the raid train on Dibdit, because by the time that I got approved to sell, and I just didn't have enough time to figure out how the damn thing worked to be ready for this, to be ready exactly at a certain time to pick up the show when the next person was done. Okay, we got Brandon Archer. What up, Brandon Archer? Thanks for stopping in. Love the new display. Oh yeah, we're very proud of this display. Me and Miss Cat, we worked hard. It's been a long time since I've actually seen all my stuff out and about. It was actually, all this stuff was in boxes and totes, and finally just sprung and spent the money to put these shelves up. So, but yeah, that's some of our plans, and of course we're going to try to get back to Killer on the Rocks. Those videos don't do as well, but we still put them out for you guys. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button there. Drive us to some more people. We're getting close to 5,100 subs, and we just had a new milestone in our YouTube studio the other day. Our channel's officially reached 250,000 views. So I mean, that's a milestone to us. That's 250,000 views. Philip Wayne Scott, when will you be posting the info for your rummy show? I'd love to come with it. I'll bring you some Sammy Terry gift as well. Hey, as soon as we get the rummy, it'll probably be, I would say, sometime around the tractor and engine show time, which I think that's August, September. I think it's September. We'll probably be doing it sometime around September, because if we set up during the tractor and engine show, a lot of the people come from Portland and all around, and they hit the rummy sales in all the surrounding counties. So I think that our best chance for a lot of foot traffic would be during that time. Badass shirt, bro. Yeah, this is one of my favorite shirts. I love this. It's that Magic Johnson tees all over print Hurricanes. I've actually had offers of $350 on this and haven't taken it. It's so soft I can't seem to get rid of it. And I'm not even that big of a Hurricanes fan. So, what else have we got going on? We're planning on a lot of things. We'd like to do another trip to the Mahoning, or at least over that direction. We've discussed maybe going out toward that way. So that's always a possibility. We're looking for like a pop culture con or something. We're hoping to maybe catch Dwight from The Office signing somewhere. So we're always looking out for that. What else can I tell you? It is August and the town-wide is in May and July. Okay, well, then it looks like it'll be May and July. See, my mom knows the dates on there. My mom's in the comments there. Nice, I'll keep a lookout for your rummy stuff. Well, it'll be posted, of course. Kat will post it on Facebook like she did last year. I'll post it on that yard sale treasure map, which we got a lot of foot traffic from the yard sale treasure map. I was actually shocked. I didn't realize there was that many people using that app, but we got a lot of foot traffic from there. But yeah, we had some people stop by our rummy sale last year. Heartland Vintage, he's in the comments. He stopped by our rummy sale last year. Taylor McCullough, if you follow her on Instagram, she stopped by our yard sale last year and had to get a picture with me. Yeah, we're not strangers to having people show up at our yard sales. All right, so what else can I tell you? Me and Kat's been talking a lot, so we got a lot of goals for the channel, and we're hoping to, you know, we're hoping this will be the year for us to blow up. That's what we're hoping for. But I really can't complain because technically our 2-year anniversary won't even be until April of the channel, and we're almost at 5,100 subscribers, and we ain't even been at this for 2 years yet. Everybody I've talked to along the way says that the third year, most of the people I've talked to says that the third year is about the time their channel blew up. So that's what I'm hoping for. But with doing a bunch of these different, things that we've got planned, sometimes it's a double-edged sword, because if we drop a video from the Scarefest, that'll drag us down. If we drop a video from, one of these other little adventures, that drags us down, and, so I don't know. We'll just see what happens. The only thing I can promise you for sure is we're going to do the same thing we always do. We're going to put out a good quality video every Saturday. But we're going to try to add new stuff in this year, and some new things. And like I said, of course, then the sponsorships, we've got that too. And I'm trying to figure out how to get those in the videos. Well, the comments kind of died on me here. What happened? Not as interesting without Miss Cat here, huh? But what can I show you guys here? So what do you guys think? What did you guys think of the New Year's video? And for whatever reason, it's not doing the greatest. So I think it's got 800 views. So if you guys got any complaints with it, you let me know. I'll fix the stuff, because I'm trying to figure out what it is everybody likes. And some videos that I don't think will do really well do, and then the videos that I think are going to do really well totally tank. And that's what got me this time. I couldn't believe the New Year's video tanked, because that was grail after grail after grail. It was everything we found all season. And it was certainly the best season we've ever had. So if that video don't get any views, then I don't know what'll do it. It's a fun app. I sell on One Stop Shop on District. Have an app with Dibbit too. So you selling Dibbit too there, Keith? Philip Wayne Scott said, I'd like to recap video. We did too. Me and Kat was real happy with it. But when I looked at it and realized it was like everything, if you look at your analytics, it tells you, your impressions, click-through rate, your amount of views, and then the watch time. And every one of them is the down arrow. I'm not used to having all three categories be a down arrow. Either the impression, click-through rate, and it's really bad. Like only 4% of the people who are watching the video are clicking through to the next one. YouTube only pushed it like 157 times. But from what I figured out this year, I did get some information that what really drives YouTube to push you is the comments. So Donnie Artichico says it's just the time of the year. Well, I'm hoping so, but I really thought we saved a lot of our better videos for the later part of the year when it got cold, because we assumed more people was going to be at home, and we thought the videos would do better. And in essence, that really hasn't been what happened. I just can't figure it out. On District by One Stop Ship by RIN, not Dibbit yet. So I haven't looked into that. So District has more than one selling space on it. If you get the app District, since we're talking about it, it has more than one selling space. What Keith is down here talking about in the comments is there's on District by one with One Stop Shop. What's he say here? Sorry about that. Well, basically, there's more than one marketplace inside this app that you can use. Dibbit is just one of the many marketplaces in there. Heartland Vane says he liked the New Year video. Yeah, but Chris, you like every video. You don't count. Loved your highlights video. Did one myself this year. I know I haven't got a chance to watch it. Like I said, we've been sick the last few days, and I haven't been watching YouTube. We've been watching this Rewind to the 90s, and then we've been binge watching this 10-episode series on Hulu. Have you started a Facebook account yet or not? No, we haven't started a Facebook account. I know I discussed it several times. Kat runs the Facebook thing with her personal Facebook for like marketplace and stuff, but like I said, I don't have time to learn another platform. I don't have time to keep up with another platform. I can barely keep up with Instagram and YouTube as it is. So Reseller Information Network's marketplace. Okay, the RIN, the Reseller Information Network. So yeah, make sure you guys check out District. You check out not only Dibbit, but there's Dibbit, but there's also a lot of other selling platforms inside this one single app. That's why I didn't learn it so quick, because it seemed so daunting. I signed up for just Dibbit alone, and and then of course got sick and never even done anything with it yet. It's just a login and copy posts, same video, I think. It's just log in and copy post same video, I think. Not sure what you're talking about, Chris. Hey, you still want to go with us to that indoor rummage sale in Indianapolis, Chris? Make sure you let me know, because we're supposed to meet you somewhere, right? We got to start planning for that, so you need to hit me up. You need to text me so we can figure that out. Guys, if you guys aren't following Vintage Sports Flips, go give him a follow. If you guys ain't following Heartland Vintage, go give him a follow. They post a lot of really cool stuff. But anyway, did you have your coupon code for Dibbit to post it for the peeps in here? I do not have a coupon code for that yet. If I do, I don't know it. I don't know what it is right now. Like I said, I have paid no attention to that. I paid no attention to that app yet. Kevin and all you guys, sorry, it's just I've been sick and I ain't had time to learn it yet. I'll get to it. Because right now, that's the only one on my radar right now that I'm even considering learning, just because I feel like it might be the next big thing, you know. And everything that I sell and everything that we deal with is exactly what they want on there. I ain't snubbing them. I just ain't got to it yet. Mojo Cash is already sold on there, and they're doing pretty well from what I understand. So, Chris says we're 100% going. I will have some coupon codes for you guys though on when I start selling those. When I start promoting those bull airs and I start promoting these other things I got. I'll have some discount codes for you guys. Some 10% off, some 15% off. You know, 20 people in here tonight. Last few times I went live by myself, you guys come in here and showed up and kept me going. I appreciate every one of y'all for that. It's certainly not as easy without Miss Cat over here to keep me straight. So, okay, if you go on the app and find the dollar icon, it shows the link. People who sign up through there get free cash to spend. I'll have to go in there and check it out and get you guys a link to get you guys some money off. What is your eBay store? The link is into I can't remember the exact name of my eBay store. That's how bad I am about this. I think. Gotta head out. Have a great night. All right, take it easy, Philip Wayne Scott. Appreciate you stopping in and shooting the breeze with us tonight. You have to check into the description of my last video. The link to my eBay store is in there. I can't remember what the name of it is. There's only like 47 items in my eBay store, so yeah, we fully neglect our eBay store. But if you check the description of the last video, it's the third link down. It's our eBay store, and everything on there is negotiable. So don't be afraid to send an offer. What's the last video game oh man, the last video game we played. Let's see here. I just played Shredder's Revenge on the Switch yesterday and beat it. Miss Cat was here with me while I beat it. She bought it for me for Christmas because she knew I'd wanted it for a while. It's the only game where Casey Jones is a playable character. So I sat down yesterday and I beat it all the way through. And once you do that and let the credits roll, you've unlocked Casey Jones as a playable character. So now I fully intend probably in the next day or two to play it again and beat it all the way through with Casey Jones. And then Miss Cat today played literally almost all day. She got quite a bit of Spyro in. Spyro Reignited on the Switch that we got from Retro Rick. And that's got 3 different games on it. And I think she's on the 2nd or 3rd game now. She's already beat a portion of it. So we got a lot of video game time in over the last few days. And then I even picked up a video game on my phone. I didn't even know you could get it anymore. There was a game way, way back called Chuzzle. You used to be able to play on like computer. And I used to have to pry me off the computer. Well, now they have Chuzzle 2 you can get as an app. So I'm showing Kat, like, look at this old school game that I found. She goes, it's just like Candy Crush. I'm like, oh, well, if I would have known all these years, I could have been playing a game that I like to play. Because I thought you could only get it on disc and only play it on like a computer. I didn't. But yeah, so I played Shredder's Revenge on the Switch, and I've been playing Chuzzle, and then of course Miss Cat's been playing her Monopoly Go and Spyro Reignited. Those are the 4 video games we've been playing over the last few days while we were sick. Clash of Clans, only phone game I play now. I've heard of it, but I've never played it. I don't have enough time to play phone games. I'm starting to discover that with Chuzzle now. After I paid the $5.99 for it, I don't have time to play it. And then secondly, with all the stuff that goes on my phone, I'm starting to run out of memory on my phone. Because I do all my editing from my phone. I have most of my videos on there from like is I use GoPro Quick, so it transports the videos from my camera to the Quick app, and then I can take those out and then put them on my phone and then put it into InShot for editing. So my phone is so convoluted with crap. So yeah, I don't really have enough time or enough space to play video games on my phone at the moment. But yeah, it's 35 minutes into it. Night flies by quick when I get on here and do lives with you guys. Make sure you're smashing that like button there. We only need 19 more subs and we'll be breaking 5,100. Like to be, I've set a modest goal. I mean, it's not modest. It's actually a huge goal because I don't think we'll make it. But I'd like to be at 6,000 subs by our 2-year anniversary, which is in April. It's doable, but we'll just have to see. Any new shoes? Yes. If you guys will bear with me, I can show you one thing from an upcoming video. Maybe. Babe, do you know where my Wolverine shoes went? Never mind, I found them. I got them. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, so these are going to be in an upcoming video. These are some of my newest acquisitions here. These are the Wolverine big Nike highs. So they're gonna be taking up a spot over here on one of my shoe pillars very soon. I got to do a little more cleaning and a little more restoration on them. But yeah, so these are my newest shoes. Other than, like I said, the sponsored shoes that we got, they're not here yet, but they're on their way. So yeah, some Wolverine Nikes. If you know, you know. What else we got here? That's a good question, Donnie. We've discussed maybe even doing a shoe collection video, or even a whole collection video, going through my closet in there. It's the thing is, we don't, as much as I like to do these just to flex videos because it's just fun, I don't per se like to flex on my viewers. You know, it's like, those shoes are fire. They are. It took me a long time. It's literally taken me 2 years to get Mojo Josh to come off of these. No, it actually has been 3 years. It's 3 years it's taken me to get Mojo Josh to come off these shoes. So yeah, it took me a while. I just had to take the right stuff. What about you guys out there? Any new shoes for you guys? Anybody getting new shoes for Christmas? I've been actually cutting my shoe collection down. I cut quite a bit of them out. I've been cutting a lot of stuff out of my closet. Like 19 people in here. How was everybody's New Year? Happy New Year, Pablo Esco. Thanks for stopping in and seeing us. Well, seeing me. Miss Cat's not here tonight. I'm trying to think of what else new we might have picked up here recently. Yeah. This is a little something new we picked up here lately. The Game Boy watches. Starting to see these everywhere. We picked this up over at TJ Maxx. They had them on sale for 12 bucks. I got the only two they had. I got a new pair of Crazy One Sunshine 13, brand new for 70 bucks. Oh hell, you can't beat that. A pair of Crazy One Sunshine 2013, brand new for 70 bucks. Yeah, that's a hell of a deal. I did get another pair of shoes a couple weeks ago at a flea market. Those are the only nearest one. Air Jordan 2 Christmas colorways. Ooh, who wears the 2s? 2s are hideous. I like the 1s. I don't like the 2s, 3s, or 4s. I like 5s. I don't like the 6, 7, 8s, or 9s. I like the 10s and the 14s. That's about it for Jordans. Jordans are overrated. I don't care what anybody says. I get torn up a lot on my Just a Flex post on Instagram about my Adidas. Everybody tearing into me about my Adidas. I was like, man, I'd rather have a lot of these Adidas than these Jordans that everybody has. So, but to each their own. My buddy Tyler, he wears Jordan 2s too. They're just not my style. I think they look like, if you ever seen them in a low cut, like the Jordan 2 lows, they look like some ugly ass loafers. Okay, Pablo Esco says, nice collection, man. Oh, I appreciate it. We're going to be doing a collection video. I mean, we'll be doing a video here soon showing each one of these shelves individually. You know, give you guys a closer look. Miss Cat did really, really well Because all I did was I built the shelves and put them together. I said, I ain't no master at maximizing space and stuff like that. You got to figure out how all this stuff goes up here. And God bless her, she went through and found a place for every single thing and where we could get everything out there where you can see it. So it's been a big success. These low top 2s are almost the most comfortable Air Jordans I've ever had. I mean, you can't, if they're comfortable, you know, you can't argue with what's comfortable, but they're ugly, Chris. They're ugly. And I don't do lows in general. I've had 2 pair of Jordan 2s and I've sold them both. Great job. Your display looks amazing. Hey, thank you. Yeah, well, thank Miss Cat too. Like I said, all I did was built the shelf. She put all the stuff on them. So we're proud of our shelves. And then the way we sticker bomb the side of it. Which Air Jordan is my favorite? Well, the 5s are my favorite. It's simple. They're the most. I've worn them for basketball shoes. I've had a pair of the grape alternate 5s that I hooped in for about half a season. And I have a pair of Jordan Poison, the All-Star 5s that never leave my collection. And anytime I bang them up, I just buy a new pair of them. And then I just got the Crite, a pair of the Green Bean Jordan 5s from the flea market in down by Kings Island with Mojo Crew. You guys will see that in an upcoming video in the future. So some LED lights would make it look even more awesome. Yeah, I've thought about the LED lights. I don't know. I don't want to run them. That's the thing. I don't want to figure them out. It's not like wiring the stereo per se. I'd have to tape them around here. And Kat said that they had these things where you have to plug these little chips into them or something. That way you can have one a different color and then this one a different color. And I just don't want to figure it out. Okay, let's see here. Chris Pay said, last summer I ended up the summer hooping in Air Jordan 5s for outside. They're nice. I don't know. I don't hoop outside a whole lot. I know I wore them in the gym, and they weren't great, but they weren't bad. They served a purpose. I hoop in LaMelos. That's what I wear now. LaMelo balls, and before that it was Iversons, and then before that it was Penny Hardaway 5s. So and then before that it was Nike Zoom Air Hawks. I've been on this quest to find the perfect basketball shoe, and there's only 2 that I keep going back to. It's Nike Zoom Air Hawks from the 96 pack, and them things are like $150, $180 a pair if you can even find them, and I tear up basketball shoes in about 3 months. And then I get these LaMelo balls that I've been lucky enough to find all the colorways I like, and those for about $70 and $75, and you know that's a whole lot more manageable if you're tearing them up in about 3 months. Oh yeah, the Mellow Dexter is fire. Yes, I've already sent pictures of them LaMelo Dexters to Miss Cat. It's like I'm already on those. But the Toxics are really good looking too. That's the thing. I would rather have the Dexters, but when I first saw those Toxics, I wanted them too. So yeah, for my money, I go with the LaMelos. If I had unlimited money, I'd buy me about 10 pair of the Nike Zoom Air Hawks, and that's all I'd ever play in. But I don't have that kind of money. All right, I'm always shocked. I can't believe we kept 19 people in here so far. We just love you guys. Make sure you guys, if you haven't went and checked out our YouTube New Year's wrap-up video, our 2023 recap, you can go check that out now. It helped bring that up out of the toilet. Is I tell you what, when I look back at my backlog, I can live with a certain amount of views per video, but anything under 1,000 views, literally, it drives me crazy. And I've got about 4 videos that are under 1,000 views right now, and so make sure if you haven't if you guys are scrolling through my backlog and you see a video it's under 1,000 views, throw a gratuitous view on it. You know. What we have figured out now, though, is what I've been told is comments are key. They said, from what I'm understanding, is like the more comments that are going on when your video drops, the more YouTube will push it. And it's because that means people are fully engaging with your video. It means it's drawing up enough hype that people are actually taking the time to talk. And, you know, so if you ain't going through and putting a comment on every one of our videos, please do. Help us out there. As I tell you what, the more we grow the channel, the bigger we get, the better content we're going to bring you. 21 people in here, 45 minutes in. You guys have kept me going pretty much the whole time. What else are we going to talk about? What else would you guys like to see? Is there, would you guys like to see more vlog kind of footage? Would you like me to stay away from the vlog footage and stick strictly to rummy sales? How do you guys feel about the promotions that I'm discussing? I know that whenever I'm watching videos and that for that second it says includes paid promotion up there, and then when it comes, most 90 times 9 times out of 10 I'm fast forwarding through that, because every channel nowadays, they'll just promote anybody. It's like, why do I want to see about hymns on a on a basketball video, or why do I want to see about one of them gambling website, one of them gambling apps or something on a rummy sale video? It's like, I don't. So I took that to heart whenever I started getting these promotion offers. I'm like, man, what would I want to see in my videos? Like, so I'm taking painstaking actions here to make sure that I'm not putting anything out there I don't think you guys will like. We're not going to just promote anything, It has to be relevant to the channel. I wouldn't try to sell you guys on anything that I wouldn't buy myself, or I wouldn't have sitting back here on my own shelf. That's what I'm really trying to get at. So when you get rid of that truck you hate, what do you want to replace it with? When I get rid of that truck I hate, me and Kat, we want a van. We've discussed a live stream style van, one of those, because we would like to be able to just hop in the van and go to a reseller rally, or go to the Mahoning, or go to Pennsylvania, to Philadelphia, or go visit Keith in New Jersey. But we don't want to pay for hotels and stuff like that. That's a big portion of it, is the cost of the hotel. When we could just drive there, sleep in our van, that's been our goal for a long time. Me and Kat will tell you, that's been our goal for a long time. Get us a nice big van and just go from adventure to adventure, rummy sale to rummy sale, and just do that. That's been our goal for a long time. So we're waiting for the channel to blow up. We planned after tax time this year that we're going to be paying off a vehicle, and then we can take on debt for another vehicle if we wanted to, or I can wait for this channel to blow up. We're just going to have to see what happens. What I can tell you is what I'm going to do to that truck whenever... You'll know whenever we've gotten the money for a better vehicle, because you're going to be getting a video that you don't typically see on my channel. If you guys ever heard of Whistling Diesel, what he does to some of his vehicles, exactly what I'm going to do to that truck. So, Heartland Base says, let's see you versus Miss Cat video game competition video. We can do that. I don't think Miss Cat would be game for it. Me and Miss Cat, we're both very, very competitive people. And, for as good as she is at the things that she does, she'll tell you that I'm just that much better at video games. Like, she don't play Mario Kart with me now. She goes, you always win, So what we've done now is, instead of competing against each other, we've gotten games like Shredder's Revenge, Turtles in Time, Streets of Rage 4, the new Streets of Rage. We've got these games where we can do co-op beat-em-up missions. That way we can work together. That's what we've done now. So, I don't know. We've talked about doing competition videos between me and her, but, nobody really wins in one of those videos. What we'd like to do is get some other YouTubers and do, like, challenge... Well, we did at the reseller rally. We challenged Harry Tornado and Haley Tornado to go out to the flea markets the next day. Of course, it didn't happen, or otherwise you guys would have seen it. But that was what we planned to do. We would like to challenge one of these reselling couples, and then see, Smash Brothers tournament. Go Sno on the go. On the go van, yeah. The Smash Brothers tournament. Oh man, you don't want no part of me with Smash Brothers. At least not for the one on the Wii. No, you give me Pikachu and the Smash Brothers on the Wii, and I don't take L's. I don't. There was a guy I used to play video games with in Portland. His name was Doc. And we called him Doc because he was like the Doc Brown of video games. That dude modified PlayStation 2s where you could play any song you wanted on Guitar Hero. He did hacks and this and that. And he claimed that he was one of the best video game players. He'd won competitions and stuff, and I totally mollywopped his ass 3 or 4 times straight in Smash Brothers, to the point where he wouldn't play with me no more. So, Yeah, they don't want no part of me. They don't want no part of me on Smash Brothers. Let's see here. Yeah, Vince Sports Flip says that's a great idea. A modified van would be awesome for those trips, or an Airstream trailer. Well, see, the trailer is one thing. I don't want to be towing behind a fucking trailer. Oops. I don't usually drop the F-bomb. Sorry about that. I don't want to be towing around a trailer because it's not so simple that you can just go, park in a parking lot, climb back in there in your trailer, and go to sleep. I mean, you can, but it's not ideal. Most of the time, then trailers need to be jacked up, set level, plugged in, and I just don't want to do it like that. We discussed the van thing. That was always been a goal of ours. And before Stryker was born, me and Miss Cat was discussing doing the van life anyway, because she's a nurse and she was going to do the traveling nurse. I was going to pull behind a little 12-foot box trailer behind our van to keep all my shit in. I was just going to be a mobile reseller. We discussed it. We could just pop up anywhere we wanted to, as long as we had the inventory in the trailer. I could drop it in the mail anywhere I wanted to. So, but now the van life consists of, not just us, but we want to bring Stryker in everything we do once he gets here another year or so. So we needed something a little bigger. We're thinking one of the big, tall Ford Transit vans, or one of like the Mercedes, or the Mercedes tall ones like the American Pickers Drive, or a Dodge Sprinter. That's what we're considering. It's funny, it's a joke around the house here. If you guys watched Saturday Night Live back in the day, Chris Farley used to have the motivational speaker, and he says, you don't shape up, you're going to find yourself living in a van down by the river. Well, now that's all me and Kat want to do, is save up money so we can live in a van down by the river. So, you got your PS5 already. Sadly, I do not. Still waiting on Retro Rick. The thing is, me and Miss Cat talked about it on the way home. We knew that it was going to probably be a while, because it's not like just everybody and their brother are bringing PlayStation 5s in for trade-in. You have to be, if you bought yourself a PlayStation 5, you obviously have money. And if you're taking it to sell it and get rid of it, that means you probably obviously need money. So there's not a lot of people trading in PS5s right now, I don't figure. I figure it's going to be, a month or two before we get it, but... All right, Jason Wilson says, Happy New Year to my favorite YouTuber, Snow, and Miss Cat. Love your shirt, Snow. Hey, thank you. Hey, we're thrilled to be anybody's favorite, because with the amount of competition out there, there's so many people to watch. If you guys are taking the time to watch us, we really appreciate it. So, Imasta's in here, and with his cousin Ray Ray. My cousin Ray Ray says he can rent a Sprinter van to you. It just smells like cheese when he used to deliver counterfeit Amish cheese from Mexico. Oh, we're not looking to rent, we're looking to buy. So, yeah, we're looking to buy. And we want to do it up our own way, We've been watching a lot of videos on... Actually, here, just about a month or two ago, one of the 3/4 school buses come available. A friend of mine hit me up, and I could have got it. I could have got it for like $1,900. Me and Kat even went and drove it, and it would have been perfect. It was ideal to do, but it was, like I said, it was an older school bus. So I get out here on the highway and test drive it, and it was literally struggling to get up to 60 miles an hour. And I was like, well, there's no way that's going to work. I mean, hell, it's 70 miles an hour on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. I was like, so we can't do that. As I hit the guy up, he's like, well, do you want to buy it? And I was like, well, I don't think I can, because our journeys consist of us being on some major interstates or major highways, and, this thing struggles to get up to 60 miles an hour, and then once you have to slow down, it takes forever to get back up to 60 miles an hour. So he says, well, what do you expect? It's a friggin' school bus. But I distinctly remember being a kid, living in Jay County, riding the school bus all the way to Indianapolis. In turn, you have to get on Interstate 70 and do 70. I can remember those school buses making 70. So but it's a good thing that we didn't buy it, because we had some issues afterwards that would have, strapped our cash a little bit. But we're just gonna wait. Then there was another van. We just test drove a Ford conversion van. It was like a '93. It was older, but it was one of the shell tops. Had a TV in it, the fold down couch in the back, and the captain's chairs. And it was an old man owned, and it sat in the garage all the time, so it was really well maintained. And I kind of regret not getting it, because in the day or so I sat to think about it, it sold almost that quick. So, but we're just gonna wait till the right one comes along. We're not gonna just dump all of our money into something. We're gonna, when we're ready to get the van, we're gonna pick exactly what it is, the one we want, and that's what we're gonna get. Okay, so what else we got? Pablo Esco says, I understand. All right, well, then we on the same page. But yeah, there's always been a certain amount of appeal in that van life for us, uh, and like I said, we're looking for something very specific. Because we're even considering, I don't even think it's a consideration at this point. I think it's already set in stone that we're even taking Stryker with us to the convention at Retro Rex. So, you know, we're going to be them cool parents. Stryker's going to get to grow up and enjoy all this cool stuff that we're doing too. So, we got 23 people in here, 23 likes. We've been at this for an hour. I might stay on here, I don't know, an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. We'll see. Just depends on how long y'all keep me talking here. 24 people. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Make sure you go check out our most recent video, our top 12 finds of 2023, because it's tanking and it's driving me crazy. So, I guess it drives me crazy because when the video tanks, I also have to watch that revenue come down. And, that's hard to watch too. So, the comments have kind of died on me. So I'm waiting for somebody to fuel the conversation here because I think I've pretty much filled you guys in on all of our major plans. Allow me to bring them back to life. All right, all caps, Rob. Well, thank you for bringing them back. All caps, Rob saves the day. Am I boring you guys? Can't believe I've kept 19 people entertained this long. What are those IKEA shelves called? Billy bookcases. Billy bookcase. Yep. And actually, they're not that terrible to put together. I had a horror story with an IKEA dresser once when me and Miss Cat first got together. And I got it put together, but it never did function right. So when I got these Billy bookcases, I was really concerned. But once I got the first one down, the next three, I zipped right. Me and Tyler, we zipped right through them. We had it down to where I think the first one took us like 25 minutes. The second one took us like 15 minutes. The third one took us like 10 minutes. And then this little one here, we had it together in no time. So, and they're well worth the money. But what I will say about them is they're flimsy. They're flimsy as all get out. I'm not exactly sure that if me and her ever have to move out of this house, or if and when we do, I'm not sure if these shelves will survive the trip. We'd have to literally take the shelves out of them and then lay them down on their back and carry them out like that. And you can't let it bend or go any direction because I think they just collapse. So, the East End Mafia, I like those a lot. They're a great investment for the money, but make sure that when you get them that you plan for them to be stationary, because I don't think taking them apart is an option, and moving them individually, there's a good chance you're going to break them. Have you ever played Lion King on the SNES? It's the hardest game ever. Oh, I love the Lion King on the NES. I played a lot of it when I was a kid, and yeah, it was hard. There were some levels that I can recall spending hours and hours on, having to swing across them hippos' tails, and yeah. I don't remember all of it anymore. It's been a long time, but I got really far in that game. I won't say I beat it because I know I didn't, but I got really far. Having to outrun them. Whatever them caribou or whatever they are. They're not caribou. I can't remember what the hell they are that run over Mufasa. But you have to, that level was a pain. Have you ever played? Oh yeah, that was the one I just read. Now that's a good question, Monster. My go-to games are always the turtle games. That's what I go to first. I've been trying some new stuff lately, but all right. So what else have we got going on here? And see, Miss Cat, she likes her Spyro or stuff like that. I haven't got her to play too many old games with me very often. She's played a little Turtles in Time. Okay, I have never beaten it, but my cousin Ray Ray says mom's trying to teach him to be a winner, and will pour applesauce on him every time he failed, call him Applehead. Well, then I bet he was covered in applesauce a lot because that game was brutal. Aladdin was brutal too. I played a lot of Aladdin. That was a rough one. But Happy New Year, Joe Ellen. Nice to see you. Joe Ellen's one of our big followers. She comments on every video, so it's nice to see you made it to a live. Let's see what else we got going on here. Heartland Vinny says Pika is dominant on the Wii. Oh yeah. Sorry, Chris, I got behind in the comments. You play Fortnite at all, Snow? I do not play Fortnite. I was just talking to the cat today about my stepbrother Dustin. He'd be tagging me on TikTok and his videos that he posted playing Fortnite. I was like, man, I don't know anything about this game, and stop tagging me on it. So, totally rad. Vinny's Fest is coming to Cleveland March 9th at the IX Center. You guys should come out. March 9th. Actually, that's probably impossible for us because we're committed to Comic-Con in Indianapolis, and there's just no way we could pull off two major cons within a week of each other. It's just not possible. But it would be a good idea though, because we got a friend up there in Cleveland, Roman, and he's already extended an offer to us to come up and visit him. Roman, the Anytime Picker. We've done an interview on his channel. If you guys don't know him, go check him out. Let's see here. Imasta says, "What's your favorite game ever?" Favorite game ever to me has always been Turtles in Time. That's Super Nintendo Turtles in Time is my favorite game of all time. You know, yeah, I have to say that of all time. Probably followed closely second by Grand Theft Auto, the original Grand Theft Auto. Let's see here. Taylor McAuliffe says, "Hey, what's up, Taylor?" I thought it would be NBA Jam. Oh, I love NBA Jam just the same too, but I didn't put the hours into NBA Jam that I put into Turtles in Time. As much as I love to play basketball games, which I do, and I'm pretty decent at racing games, beat 'em ups, side-scrolling beat 'em ups. That's my specialty. I'm a Streets of Rage fan. I'm the X-Men arcade fan. Turtles in Time. I like a good side-scrolling beat 'em up. Okay. I was just talking about you a little bit ago, Taylor. I'd said how you stopped at our rummy sale last year because a few other people in the comments were talking about stopping at our rummy sale this year. So yeah. There's the Anytime Picker. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Happy New Year, Snow. I am half dead after drinking last night. Hello, everyone. Yeah, Roman, the Anytime Picker in the comments. Go check him out. You're probably half hungover from your Cleveland Browns winning too. If you guys got any reason to drink up there in Cleveland, it's because your team finally made it to the friggin' playoffs. Mine was NHL 94 on the Genesis. Who plays hockey games? I can honestly tell you, I've never played a single hockey game in my whole life. On any video game system that I can think of. Let's see here. Donald R. DiCicco, RoboCop. RoboCop for the NES, that was hard, if that's what you're talking about. But it's funny that Donnie DiCicco brings that up because that's actually one of the games on my list to get for the PS5. I'm so excited for the PS5 to get here when it does, not only so I can play 2K and a Texas Chainsaw game, but this new RoboCop, Rogue, I think it's called Rogue City. That looks amazing. I must have watched 20 hours of gameplay footage on that, and I'm so excited for it. Everybody's like, "You're not ready for Grand Theft Auto 6 or not?" No, not yet. Because why are you going to drop a trailer when it's not even going to be out for another year on top of it? So right now, I'm looking forward to that RoboCop Rogue City. Let's see here. My cousin and I were Vanilla Ice for Halloween, and we would dance to Go Ninja Go Ninja Go. He says, "My cousin and I were Vanilla Ice for Halloween and would dance to Go Ninja Go." And me and Miss Cat was just talking about that song because we played Shredder's Revenge and I beat it all the way through. And they had somebody from the Wu-Tang clan did a custom song for that, and they did other custom Turtles song for that soundtrack. I was like, the one thing that game needed that would have pushed it the rest of the way over the top, other than the characters, was it needed to have the ninja rap in it from Vanilla Ice. That's great. Okay, Deluxe says, what character and kart do you play on Mario Kart? I usually ride King. It's between Yoshi and they don't. I mean, it just depends on what circuit I'm racing. If I'm if I'm in the motorcycle circuit, I have him on his little dirt bike, and if I'm in the karts, I have him on his normal kart, or King Boo. Those are my two on Mario Kart, and King Boo is always on the second level motorcycle, not his big chopper, but the more like dirt bike. I never get the slowest ones. I always get the ones with the medium speed and the medium acceleration. Donald R. DiCicco says RoboCop on the NES is hard as it is too. I played that game a lot too, and yep, it's on par with the original Terminator for the NES. That one was hard too. Okay, let's see here. Favorite PS5 game? I don't know. I've never played a PS5 game yet. I'm still waiting for my PS5 from Retro Rick, so I can't really give you a favorite PS5 game because I literally have never even played one. Wario or Dry Bones for me. Oh, I don't think I've ever even raced with Wario. Let's see here. Rafa Madrigal. Okay, he was the one who asked for the favorite PS5 game. Yeah, I don't have a PS5 yet, so I've never even held a controller. I'm hoping that Texas Chainsaw Massacre will be really good. That's my hope. The Spider-Man for the PS5 is dope. My buddy Tyler just got that. He got the Spider-Man Edition PS5, and hell, he said it took him like 4 hours to even load up the game, and then he didn't even play it very much. He said it wasn't that great. So I don't know. When it comes to them big, advanced, long playing, role playing games, the only ones I ever get into is Grand Theft Auto. And like I said, I think I can get into RoboCop because it looks about like the similar kind of gameplay. And then I haven't played a game like that since Grand Theft Auto 5. And then before that, it was like San Andreas, Vice City, and then of course the Warriors, the Rockstar game. Okay, Deluxe Resident Evil 4 on PS5 should be on your list. I don't play the Resident Evil games. My friend of mine named Derek Walker, when we was in middle school, had the first Resident Evil on PlayStation 1, and we used to go spend the night at his house on weekends and play that. And I spent 2 or 3 weekends being the only one there who could never figure that friggin' game out. I couldn't get the controls down. It was like trying to... And I know that they got better over the years, but that my first bad experience with that Resident Evil 1 director's cut for the PlayStation 1, it soured me on it to the point where I never tried a Resident Evil game again. So... yeah. And as much as me and Miss Cat like our horror movies, horror-related games aren't really that great for me. Like I said, that Texas Chainsaw's cool. I've got Friday the 13th on the PlayStation 4. I've got my Friday the 13th on the NES, but, games like your Silent Hills, your Resident Evils, your Dead Before Daybreaks, I didn't ever really play them. Let's see here. Rafa Madrigal says he can't wait for GTA 6. I can wait. I'm excited for it. It looks insane. I haven't touched a GTA game since I played GTA 5 on the PlayStation 3, so I'm gonna be really behind. But it looks great, but I'm not overly excited. It'll come when it comes. Max Payne and Scarface for the PlayStation 2. I did play Max Payne and I did play Scarface. I played Scarface till I beat it. I didn't play Max Payne till I beat it, but I played Scarface. So yeah, those are definitely 2 good choices. 20 people in here. We're 67 minutes in. I think I'm gonna stick this out for about another half hour. We'll call it for the night. I'm still a little tired. I'm still on the edge of getting over this sickness. So mostly it was just about getting on here and letting everybody know what we had in store for the new year. We got big plans. We got big dreams anyway. Right. 26 likes, 18 people. Comments died on me again. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. I would like to see a new Twisted Metal game for the PlayStation 5. That would be something that would be interesting. I really love Twisted Metal. I can't wait for the next season to come out on Peacock. I played a lot of those games. I played them all. I beat them all the way up until this point, so... A brand new Twisted Metal game on a brand new next-gen console, that sounds good to me. Sony better figure that out. Twisted Metal's fire. Oh, yeah. Even the first one was good. Yeah, man. It was a little clunky, but it was good. I got into a lot of those demolition car games. Like I played Road Trip. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. That's a PlayStation 1 game. It's pretty good. Vigilante 8 was one of my favorites. I played Vigilante 8 and Vigilante 8 The Second Offense on N64, and I loved them. So, Rise to the Sky Reaction. How was your New Year's? It was good. It was real good. Aside from the fact that we were a little sick, but we still managed to get a few drinks in last night, and we brought in the New Year right. And we even let the little guy stay up with us and bring in the New Year with us. And of course my mom was here, so. Okay. Goat Sim on PS5 is good too. I'm not sure what Goat Sim is. And then Twisted Metal is the GOAT. Yeah, Twisted Metal's great. But make sure you play Vigilante 8. If you haven't played Vigilante 8, you're missing out because it's just like Twisted Metal. Road Rash. I played the shit out of Road Rash 3D on PlayStation 1 when it came out. I can remember my friends come over staying the night at my mom's house, and we literally played that all night because you could have somebody driving the motorcycle. You could have somebody in the sidecar swinging the chain and doing all the other good stuff. So yeah, that was a they need to do more co-op car battle games like that. That's amazing. I would, Goat Simulator 3. I don't know what Goat Simulator 3 is. I'm going to have to look into it. What is Goat Simulator 3 about? I have to admit, I'm not up to par on all these new games. So, I just got Mortal Kombat 1 for the Switch. I need to get back into Mortal Kombat. But they've gone so crazy on the amounts of characters now. It's like, I used to be really, really mean at Mortal Kombat. Like, Mortal Kombat 3, I think I was killer with Nightwolf. And then Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. And those games for the PlayStation 2. Like, if I played with Frost or Nightwolf, you couldn't beat me. Is Kat bummed when she's missed doing live shows because of work? Well, Miss Kat's not missing the live show tonight because of work. She's like I said, she's still recovering from our sickness, and she's watching Stryker while I do this live. But yeah, I think she gets bummed when she can't do it. But the last time when she was at work, she actually watched the show and listened to it in her headphones. So, Donald R. Chico says the new MK1 is pretty cool. I'll have to look into it. I think I seen the other day that Spawn is a playable character in that game. You might correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they ran out of fatality ideas. I feel like they ran out of fatality ideas, 20 years ago. You start seeing the same stuff over and over, but then you see, friendships and babalities and all the other stuff that they do. Rise, I haven't got to play it yet, but it's all new story and character. I have to look into that. I know a few years ago they had Terminator in the Mortal Kombat universe, and it was cool. And the voice actor they had that did it, he sounded just like Arnold. But David Dorr says, "Now I'm trash. I was really good at Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. Now I'm trash." To me, I remember the special moves for the characters that I played with the most. So I think I could pick up the Mortal Kombat games that I was pretty fluent with, and be about as dominant as I was years ago within a couple hours. But not Street Fighter. I am not a Street Fighter person. When I was growing up, there was two kinds of people. There was your Mortal Kombat people, and then there were Street Fighter people. And I was a Mortal Kombat person through and through. I liked the characters better. I liked the gore better. Street Fighter, to me, the characters weren't... I'm probably going to get roasted for saying that, but I didn't really care for the characters of Street Fighter. Vega was the only one I liked to play with when I would play it, but even then, I didn't even like to play the game, so... I would rather watch the movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme than play the game. $19 people still in here. You guys done a pretty good job keeping the conversation going. I've said it a bunch of times though. If you're new in here and you haven't went and checked out our New Year's video, go check that out. Help me out. Help me get that thing over 1,000. So don't mess with my psyche. There's a lot to think about it. I've learned to accept the fact that our Halloween videos and our HorrorCon videos are going to be underviewed, because I can accept that. But it's like, these are the best finds of 2023, and it didn't break 1,000 for me. Let's see, Tekken wasn't too bad. I didn't play Tekken. I remember playing Tekken 2 a little bit, but to me, I didn't like the way the animation, I guess, was at that time. The blocky looking characters. Yeah, that wasn't my thing. Tekken to me was a step up from Virtua Fighter, and like I said, I didn't do a lot of the head-to-head fighting games anyway. If I did, it was strictly Mortal Kombat. And then of course I played Shaolin Monks, which that was really good too for Mortal Kombat, but that was more of an RPG. So, anyway, what's the next question here? Well, I ain't got no more questions, so I guess it's just ramble until somebody gives me something to talk about. But I can move out the way here though and give you guys a little view of the shelves there. Some of the stuff I can point to this shelf right here and tell you that this shelf here is nothing but Casey Jones. But it's the Casey Jones from like the 2015 Nickelodeon stuff like that. This is the vintage turtle shelf. Did you play TMNT Tournament Fighter? I did. I played that quite a bit. I'm really good at it. I've got it in my collection. It's up here somewhere. Oh, right there it is. Right there it is. Yeah. Whoops. That's a very underrated game too, right there. Battletoads and Double Dragon. I played that. I can beat that. I can beat this in about 40 minutes or so. Let's see here. Oh, and then let's see here another one. This is a good one here. I put a lot of hours in on this one too, the Sunset Riders. But then again, like I said, I like the side-scrolling beat 'em ups. This was like a side-scrolling shoot 'em up. So if you haven't played Sunset Riders, I highly recommend that game. All right, back to the comments here. Anything you wish you didn't sell to Retro Rick? No. Everything he got, I was glad he was the one to get. You know, there's a certain amount of me that misses that Sonic the Hedgehog limited edition, just because of what it was. You know, it's like there's a certain amount of, I don't know, appeal to owning grails or things that nobody else can get or very few people can get. Not so I've lost that, but you know, if I could think of any other video game collection that belongs in, it's right where it needs to be, because I didn't play it, I didn't display it. You know, I didn't really necessarily even care for the game. It was just the fact that I had a grail. But you know, you look around here, I got grails everywhere. Like, you can't see him right up here, but I got the 1979 Kenner Alien. I've got grails from every different kind of genre, so that one game really I don't miss it too much anymore. Let's see here. David Dorr says, haven't seen that game in years. Which game? The Battletoads, the Sunset Riders, or the Turtles Tournament Fighters? I tell you what, that Turtles Tournament Fighter is not an easy game to find. I mean, it is if you want to go to eBay, but as far as finding video games in the wild, that took me a few years to find that one. No, but I think Retro Rick got everything that I wanted him to have. There's actually a few things I wish I would have took to him after the fact, but we're going back, so both. Yeah, they're great games. Actually, now that I pulled it out, I got to get a new power cable for my Super Nintendo, but I will one of these days, and I'm gonna bust out that that Sunset Riders. That has very high replayability, and I think I can get Kat playing that, because I think she'd be good at it. My goal is now is like, we're so limited on video game time around here. You can't make content and play video games and edit videos. There's just not time. So my goal is now is to find video games that me and Kat can play together, so we can maximize the video game time. Now we're down to 16 people. We're losing some of you now. That's okay. I'm running out of things to talk about. Just wanted to make sure that we was giving everybody a heads up on what we had planned for this year. And what's the hardest game I've ever played? I'll tell you right now. Here it is. Where is it here? That Nosferatu right there. It's too hard. It's stupid hard. It don't make no sense to make games that hard. But you know, that's definitely one of the hardest ones I've ever played, at Nosferatu. Alright, let's see what else we got here. It's hard to make time. Lady got Harry Potter game, and I went with MK1 and now MK11. I'm about to start those for the Switch, but I also got MKXL, and I'm starting for the PS4. I don't have time to take on that many games. We focus on one at a time around here. Kat's focused on Spyro, I'm focused on the Turtles, and then when those are gone, it'll probably be breaks from video games for a while until the next video game comes out that we want to mess with. As it's not like we got a whole lot sitting around here that... I mean, we do. I bought several Switch games from Retro Rick, but like I said, I just don't have time to play them. The next thing I want to buy for the Switch, though, me and Kat talked about last night, was the Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed. That looks really good for the Switch, and we're really into Ghostbusters, so that'll probably be our next video game purchase. Let's see. What about that there? Here's a rare one for you. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Anybody ever play that for the N64? That's not an easy game. It's not. I wouldn't say it's hard, but it's certainly not easy. Oh, that was sitting right there. Messing up Miss Kat's masterpiece there. I'm pulling stuff off the shelf and then forget where it goes. Okay, here. Well, I think we're going to stay on here for about another 10 or 15 minutes. I think I'm only going to do 90 minutes tonight. So, yes, Pablo Esco, I have played Bart Simpsons and Space Mutants. That game was hard as shit on NES. Yeah, I don't have. I was turned around to look up here, and I don't have it anymore. I actually did. I think that went to Retro Rec. So, all right. Taylor McAuliffe said you should have traded Retro Rick for that kiosk. But we don't do kiosk here. You know, there's a certain amount of appeal to having a kiosk because, you know, you're supposed to only see them in stores and stuff. I don't want them around. There is very few kiosks I would even consider having in the house. It'd have to be a Super Nintendo one or an N64 one. Other than that, I don't even want a kiosk. We don't have room for them. Kiosk is something you do if you have a store or you. Yeah, we don't have room for that. I have a full-size jukebox, a late 1980s jukebox. It was called the Disco model, a Seaberg Disco model or something like that. It's sitting in my garage. I got a full-on Knight Rider pinball machine. It's just sitting in the garage. When things get that big, I don't have room for them. And now the stuff is just sitting in the garage getting ruined because I don't got nowhere to put it. So yeah, the kiosks are out of the question for me. I know a lot of people were into them. We watched Cheap Finds Gold Mines when they were doing YouTube videos, and hell, they got kiosk on kiosk on kiosk. Like, what do you do with all those? So I was there at one point though. There was a time when I wanted to have kiosk and store displays and stuff like that. But as you get older and you start, when room becomes more sparse, you realize you don't need that big old kiosk just to play a video game. 17 people, 27 likes. We got about 9 minutes to get them last questions in here. I'm gonna be dipping off here, you know, next 8 or 9 minutes. So, you got any more questions, or you got anything else you want to know for our plans for the year? Get them in now. Because I don't know what else to talk about at this point. Do you do Whatnot? Salvador Ramirez. Yeah, somebody had done ask me about Whatnot. We used to. We don't no more. You can't make money on there. Not with what we do. Not with what we sell. We were selling clothes, and you know, clothes are going for $3, $4, $5, $6, which is fine a lot of times because we got the clothes for $1 or $2 each. But you know, I'm not going to sell Harley shirts for, you know, $5, $6 when I can get $15, $17 a piece out of them on Poshmark. It makes no sense. Whatnot is for people who have a following. And I'm not talking about a following like mine either. I'm not talking about a little 5,000 following. I'm talking about you got to have, you know, 15, 20,000 followers on your YouTube to even spill over into Whatnot to where you're making enough money to make it worthwhile. I'm not the Hairy Tornado. So we got absolutely hosed on Whatnot. Me and Miss Cat did. We sold out a big chunk of my NASCAR inventory over that year, selling on there, and we sold out a big, humongous chunk of our of our Harley Davidson inventory and stuff. And though it was cool and it converted things to cash right then, the amount of money I was losing by not selling it on another platform was just too much, and we couldn't maintain. You know, they want you to go live once a week, you know, and you got to bring at least 15, 20 items, and you know, and you might make $5, $6 an item if you're lucky, and it wasn't worth it. We couldn't keep up. We couldn't maintain. I would have ran my whole inventory out, and you know, and probably only made 20% of what I'm making selling it like I am. See here. I'm not hating on Whatnot. It's not for your everyday seller. You know, if you don't have a following, you can't do it. El Tinda's in the house. What's up, El Tinda? Seen your little video showing off your VHS and your other stuff. Seems like you can make money on Whatnot if they're paying you to sell on there. Yeah. If Whatnot's pushing you and giving you money to go out and buy stuff so you can have a show on there, which like they do for Rally Roots and Hairy Tornado. That's the thing too. Is like I reached out to Whatnot when we had that big old Funko Pop buy. Not last season, but our first season. And if you guys remember, I spent $400 on Funko Pops at one garage sale, and I took them all exclusively to Whatnot. And I made money. I did good. I cleared a profit. But I reached out to Whatnot beforehand, and was like, hey, is there any way you can promote this, or is there you sponsor this video so I can put it out there so I can get more people to come, because there was a lot of high end Funko Pops, and Whatnot messaged me back, and in so many words basically said, look, you ain't got big enough following for us to promote you. All right. Well, I had already committed to selling that stuff on there. I needed to flip it and get my investment back because I had money tied up. So I went ahead and sold on there. But that was really, at that point, was about the end of my relationship with Whatnot. It was like, I had to jump through hoops to even get approved to sell on there. It took months. I mean, I think I signed up for it in like late November or December of the year before. And it literally took them till like March to even get me approved to sell. And it's like, here I've got 100,000 followers on Poshmark, uh, I had everything, clothes, records, everything if I could have got on Whatnot early when everybody else was getting in it early, and you could build your following because it was still a new app, I might have done better. But they took me so long to get in there. Followers, I mean, people had already established themselves as sellers on there, and they had already had a big following. And if you don't have a big following, your show is all the way down at the bottom of the list. Most people don't scroll that far down to catch these people having these new shows. So we was getting 12, 13, 14 viewers, and it wasn't working for us. El Tenda says, I've never tried Whatnot, so I wouldn't suggest it to you either. And until they sponsor me, I ain't saying nothing kind about them either. So Salvador Ramirez says, one of my favorite videos ever is when Froggy came to the RV full of the best stuff. That was my RV, right? I had a lot of good stuff. Yeah. Let's see here. What else? So yeah, we don't intend to go back to Whatnot. We had discussed it quite literally a few days before they got a hold of us with that did, because what we do have around here is we have a big old box, 2 huge tall boxes of plush. And I'm not talking your crappy plush either. I'm talking your vintage 90s Pokemon plush, your vintage 90s Mario plush, your vintage 90s Taz plush. And I'm talking boxes upon boxes of really high-end plush. And Kat's like, well, what are we going to do with this? And I was like, I don't know. I don't want to sell it on eBay. I don't want to, because I've tried selling plush on there a few times, and I've seen all these people like, oh, we make a bunch of money. I have my plush sits. So I was like, maybe we'll just get on there and have a big old plush auction on Whatnot just to clear out the inventory. Now that'll be end of our Whatnot. But Dib did come forward, so I think we're going to take it there. So, yeah, your RV. Okay. El Tennis Chan, I might have found another good store for VHS in Wisconsin. Hey, can't go wrong there. Is if there's horror VHS, that is. See, you buy a lot of different VHS, Altenda. I only buy horror ones, strictly. There's very few that I buy that's not horror. They have to be extremely nostalgic for me. Like, I think we got a couple copies of Howard the Duck. Got a copy of Smokey and the Bandit, of course. And this was my copy of the Coming Out of Their Shells tour from when I was a kid. I'm actually surprised this VHS even still works, because I played this so much when I was a kid. It was unreal. So... But yeah, I don't buy VHS unless it's horror anymore or something that's extremely nostalgic. Big shout out from Wexford, Ireland here. Wexford, Ireland. All right. We got somebody from Ireland in here. We've had some people in here from England, Ireland. Thanks for stopping in and seeing us. Okay, Salvador Ramirez says, what's your most prized possession? Other than my family, I guess? You talking about stuff around here? That's so hard to narrow down just one thing. It really is. I don't know. I had to say probably my Kenner Alien's one of the top ones. When it comes to toys, when it comes to my prized possessions and my clothing and stuff, I got like my Michael Jordan All-Star jersey, my champion one. That's a pretty prized possession. My Drazen Petrovic. That's a loaded question. He says, El Tenda says, I need Smokey and the Bandit and VHS. I don't think I have an extra copy, or I'd get it to you. If I see Smokey and the Bandit on VHS, I'll pick it up and I'll send it to you, Altenda. As a matter of fact, though, I do have a box full of VHS in there that was going to go out to a rummage sale. I'll take a picture of them and send it to you on Instagram later. If there's anything you see in there you might want, we can work something out. I'll get them to you. Good. I don't know. We still got 21 people in here. I might give us another 10 minutes if you guys keep the conversation going. There's some good questions there coming at the end. You guys do that to me. You wait till I say I'm getting ready to get off here, then you come with the good questions. And then we got somebody in Ireland in here, and I can't just dip out and leave him. So, what else would you guys want to know? We try not to put as much relevance on our prized possessions around here. It's more about the memories we make getting the stuff, is or doing the things that we do. I don't really attach any emotional attachment mostly to any of this stuff. It's everything can be purchased. Everything has a price for the most part, at least when it comes to the physical stuff. You can't take it with you. I'm constantly cutting stuff out of my closet. Something that I was adamant about keeping a year ago gets cut. It gets thrown on the chopping block. That's what I call it around here all the time. So, is there anything horror related you consider to be a grail piece? Oh, there's a lot of horror grail pieces out there. I mean, I don't know if you talk about my personal collection or overall. I don't know. You have to be a little bit more specific. Jack Hucksters, yo, bro, what's up? First class horror. That was a good question. I mean, we have stuff that we consider grails to ourselves around here, like my Kane Hodder autographed Nintendo game. I consider that to be a grail to me. Yeah, I guess I do have a grail. I have the Topps comic books of Jason versus Leatherface. And they're, I got all three of them, and they're all three autographed by Kane, and then one of them's autographed by R.A. Mihailoff, too. To me, I consider those to be some of my horror grails, because first and foremost, those are extremely rare series of comics. The Topps, three Leatherface versus Jason comic books are stupid expensive. And then the fact that I got to meet the guys who played both characters and have them autograph both comic books, I would consider those some of my grail pieces. The Sleepaway Camp that Miss Cat found that she had autographed by Felissa Rose, I consider that to be a grail piece. It's a $75 VHS with Felissa Rose's signature on top. So, but let me see here. Salvador Ramirez says the Spider-Man yard sale was crazy to watch. I wish I could have been there. That's what I collect most. Hey, I got some of that Spider-Man stuff left over. There's some in the eBay store, and I have some that's not even listed yet. We've been holding on to. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with yet. So if you want some Spider-Man stuff, you hit me up on Instagram. We can probably work something out. 2002 to 2000, anything, all new, everything. Tobey Maguire is what I like the most. 2002 to 2007. Actually, that's quite a bit of stuff we have. Is a lot of stuff from the Spider-Man 2 and the Tobey Maguire era. We picked up a lot from that sale there. First class horror, something you have in your collection and something you have yet to get, bro. Okay, well, I showed the things in my collection. Well, I didn't show the comic books, but I discussed them. Those are some of my favorite things. Things I would like to get. What we have down there is we have a comic. We have a magazine we got from Froggy Flips that was Freddy versus Jason. We would like to meet Robert Englund and get that autographed, and then meet Ken Kersinger and get that autograph. So that's something that we got on the docket in the future. I got a Pinhead comic book. It's not a Pinhead #1 Marvel comic book. It's not worth a whole lot, but I would like to get it autographed by Doug Bradley. We went to do it this year, but his line was too long, and I was like, man, I ain't gonna wait in that line, because really the comic book itself is only worth like $15. So the only thing that give it any value would be the signature itself. Let me see what else here. Is there anything that you had as a child that you now wish you had in your collection? I had a lot of stuff when I was a kid. If I would have taken care of... what I wish I had back now was my Kobe Bryant cards. I had a thing. When I was a kid, my parents would take me and my cousin Christopher, because his birthday was 3 days after mine. So what they would do is they'd take us together, give us money, and what we'd do is we'd go to a place called Squeeze Play in the Muncie Mall, and they sold sports cards in the 90s. And in the early 2000s, I would go and literally spend my whole birthday money on sports cards. And Christopher would too. So we had biggest collection of basketball cards. And I had a thing about collecting only rookie cards. To me, and of course my favorite player was Penny Hardaway, but only rookie cards. So I had a ton of Kobe Bryant rookie cards, all the different insert ones you could get. I had a ton of Allen Iverson rookie cards. And then there was a time when I was a teenager where I'd sold them all off for CDs or cigarettes or whatever it was I needed money for at the time. And now if I had all those Kobe Bryant cards, I'd have a fortune. So I kind of wish I would have kept those. But hindsight's 2020. This what really started a lot of this here was trying to track down things that I couldn't get as a kid is what started all this. Uh, I'd always wanted a P-40 Warhawk from the newer line of the G.I. Joes, the Sergeant Savage line of the G.I. Joes back in the day. They were a little taller figures, and he had this P-40 Warhawk. So back in like 2012 or so, when I first started getting into collecting video games and nostalgia, that was really what triggered it for me. I was like, I wanted to get that thing that I never had as a kid. My parents wouldn't buy it for me. So I went out and I found it. And back then you could buy, toys still cheap. People wasn't collecting it like that. So I think I got that thing for 40 bucks way back when. And it snowballed into what you see now. And so it really wasn't about replacing things that I had as a kid. It was more about getting things that I wanted as a kid that my parents wouldn't get me. That's what started all this. Okay, now let's see here. What is the Full House box behind you? I don't want to mess up Miss Cat's pretty shelf structure here, but I will pull this out of the way to show you because it's such a unique piece. I'm glad somebody asked about it because I don't get to show this off very often. We're going to pull this out of here ever so gently. We got the Full House. You got Stephanie and DJ in there. Made by Mego. You just don't see these very often. I love Full House. I grew up on Full House. I have every season on DVD. I watched it. I watched Fuller House. That was just a thing when I was a kid. We watched the TGI Fridays. The Full House, the Hanging with Mr. Cooper, the Family Matters, all that good noise. And so I pick up Full House whenever I can get it. The Full House books. Somebody asked me about things that were on my radar. I definitely love to find a Full House Tiger Electronics handheld game. That would be cool. So we'll get that. We'll set that back up there, like so. You don't get me in trouble with Miss Cat. I'm ruining her masterpiece in here. What you guys doing? Okay. If you could only collect one thing for the rest of your life and not have anything else, what would it be? Jerseys, shoes, or toys? I don't know. Probably. I've actually discussed selling my jersey collection here recently with Miss Cat. It's been talked about multiple times, and the few things that's kept me from doing it was the fact that I've picked up on these NBA jeans. That's got the big patches on it. Well, I'm wearing a pair. I'll just show you right here. Like these. I've picked up on these NBA jeans, which makes it a lot easier for me to wear those jerseys because there was a lot of period of time. I've got 137 different jerseys in there, 137, 138. And to have an outfit or have a pair of jeans or a pair of shoes or a hat that goes in each and every one of them jerseys is just, it's mind-blowing to think that you could even accomplish that. So a lot of those jerseys never get worn. I think I would keep the toys, collecting the toys and the nostalgia opposed to the jerseys. It displays better. It's easier to find. If you watch my videos, for 2 years now, me and Kat's been doing this. I think I might have found 3 champion jerseys in the wild. That's at rummy sales, not that deal I went and met that guy and paid $25 a piece for. I'm not counting that. I'm talking about ones I've actually found at rummy sales. I found a Reggie Miller. I found a Larry Johnson. And then recently I found another one. I can find toys and video games every yard sale I go to. You just don't find them jerseys like that. So to answer that question, long story short, I would probably keep collecting the toys and stuff like that. The nostalgia, that's really where it's rooted at. My love for basketball will never change with or without the jerseys. And the fact is, I don't even wear them that often, so most of them. Coolest piece of WWF Attitude Era merch. Well, I mean, I got the shelf down here. This is my wrestling shelf, and it's not very big. I can't really show it to you guys. I'll give you guys a tour one of these days. I picked up that Bret Hart action figure for a couple bucks this year. That was a steal. But as far as Attitude Era merch goes, it's got to be my t-shirts. That's where most of my value goes in my wrestling stuff. I don't find a lot of the vintage wrestling toys, not like I used to. So my vintage wrestling t-shirt collection's insane. I got a $400 Shawn Michaels shirt, got a $400 Sable shirt, $100 DX shirt, or not DX, but Road Dogg, $150 Rock shirt, and then that $200 Legion of Doom shirt. So I would say that my wrestling T-shirt collection is probably $2,000 retail value just in my wrestling T-shirts. Jack Huckster says toys over shoes as well. Oh yeah, it's like for as many shoes as I got around here, my shoes that I wear the most are my plain white Nike Air Maxes and my Nike Manoa boots, as I just throw them on as anytime I have to be doing something or have a specific outfit in mind for most of my shoes in there. So, and just like most of my jerseys, most of my shoes never get worn. I have shoes that are specifically for one outfit that'll go with one jersey or one shirt, and I may only wear it once or twice a year. I've got 50 pair of shoes in there, and out of all those 50 pair of shoes, there might be 4 that get some regular rotation. Uh, so yeah, I would take toys over. I'd take toys and video games over shoes too. Hats are the same way. I got a collection of hats. It's insane. Not just those Spider-Man hats, but I got a little nice little collection of sports specialty hats of my own. I got some pinstripes. I got some Splash, some Shark Tooth, some Diamond Points. But do I wear the stuff? Not very often. So yeah. All right, get these last questions in here. You got 22 people in here, 30 likes, comments. Like I said, it never fails. Every time I say I'm fixing to get off, a bunch of good questions come in, and then I get stuck for another 10 minutes. Don't bug me. If you guys are engaged, I'm engaged. So, well, I got a question for First Class Horror before we go. What kind of stuff do you collect? You got any major grails in your collection? Our horror collection is, it's not as big as we'd like it to be. We got some personal items, but the horror stuff is even hard to find anymore. I can remember a time. It was a time before I met Miss Cat. There was a little town called Parker City down the road here. I don't know, about a half hour, and they used to have a little street festival. And one year I went there, and there was this lady who had she must have had 10 fold out tables with just nothing of VHS tapes. And I remember went and looked through, and I pulled out Night of the Demons, and I picked it up for myself just because that was one of my all-time favorite horror movies. And I was like, what? And it's like, well, the VHS ain't never gonna be worth anything, but I just think it's cool. And to go back now, that woman had thousands of dollars sitting on the table. She had some horror movies like you wouldn't believe, titles you wouldn't have ever expected to see. And I was like, so that's. I wish I would have known back then what I knew now. Otherwise, I'd have been buying a bunch of them horror VHSs. Now there was something else I'd done that was really stupid. I'd had a collection of my own Friday the 13th VHSs that I bought with my own money. Because at the time, you couldn't just go to Walmart or something and get a Friday the 13th VHS. There was a place in the Muncie Mall that Mom had to take me to called Suncoast. And that's where you went to get videos that weren't mainstream. You had to go in there to get it. And, back then it was $20, $21 a piece for a brand new Friday the 13th. Or any horror movie for that matter. And I can remember my mom taking me there. I'd save up my own money, and I went in there, and I'd go and buy a couple VHS a week until I had all of Friday the 13th. I can remember, because she had to buy them for me. You had to be 18 to buy the horror VHS, and I couldn't buy them. I can remember her standing there saying, "Do you really want to spend your money on these?" Yes, I do. So I bought them all, and there was a period of time where me and Kat had went through a breakup, and I was in the garage, and I was cleaning things up, and I had them in a box, and I was like, I don't know, I was just mad, and I was throwing a temper tantrum. I was like, oh, these damn things ain't never gonna be worth nothing. I got mad, threw them all in the friggin' trash can, and then it wasn't, this, of course, that was back in like 2017. So here we are in 2024, and I probably and I kept my VHS tapes immaculate, because as a kid, I was taught that if you bought something with your own money, you took care of your stuff. And so my VHSs were immaculate, and I probably threw away $300-400 worth of Friday the 13th premium vintage VHSs just because I was mad and being a total douchebag. So let's see here. If you like toys and video games, you need to come to the Chicago Toy Show. El Tenda. We've discussed coming to the Chicago Toy Show, but there's a lot of stuff going on in Chicago, and we're just not really looking to come up there with the way things are. And then toy shows, nevertheless, we don't. That's the thing about our channel. We don't pay. We go to toy shows maybe to just for content, if we need the content, or if we've been invited, or if we. But we don't like the toy shows. We don't want to pay retail, and even we don't want to pay we don't want to pay 80% of retail that you would typically see at a toy show. We're out here for the steals and deals. My channel could blow up tomorrow, and I could be making money, like a lot of these other big time YouTubers are. And I guarantee you, I'm not going to be going out to these toy shows and dropping $300, $400, $500. That's just not how we do it. I feel like you lose relatability when that happens. I feel like that. I'm showing you guys that every day your average Joe can do this on a budget, and that's what this is about. It's not about getting rich so I can go out here and buy all this stuff. I would rather find it out here in the wild at my price. So I can promise you guys one thing: that if the channel ever blows up, it's not going to change. Okay, let's see here. Do your kids take much interest in collecting or reselling? Well, Striker's too young. we keep him in vintage. He plays with my vintage Ghostbusters Kenner backpack. My Proton pack. He plays with my vintage Kenner Ecto one. My oldest son Jalen, he's not so much into a lot of the stuff that we're into, but he does like some of the vintage wrestling t-shirts. He likes vintage hockey memorabilia and hockey jerseys and stuff. So it's safe to say that he's taken at least a passing interest in it. So, and he's been known to come to rummage sales and flea markets with me, and if he finds something he likes, he'll buy it, and if he don't, he don't. So let's see what else we got here. But they are super rare over here. Okay. First Class Horror. I've got some screen use stuff from 13 Ghosts, Ghost Ship. They are up there. Lots of weird clamshell horror VHS from the UK. I've been hunting the VHS and the cardboard slip covers a lot, but they are super rare over here. So I take it that First Class Horror must be from the UK. That's really cool. We definitely love 13 Ghosts around here. Miss Cat is the hugest Matthew Lillard fan, and I am too. So 13 Ghosts, you're definitely sitting in good company. I like Matthew Lillard's opening line. You a truck full of blood? You gotta be shitting me. So El Tenda says, well, it's 45 minutes from Chicago, but I see your point. I don't go downtown. Yeah. I mean, even if it's 45 minutes from Chicago, you might be in a nicer area. What we really run into at that point is the fact that we just don't want to pay those prices. Now, what may happen someday, if things straighten up around there, me and Kat have discussed going up there to go to that flea market with Shagan, and then, of course, in that case, we'll stop by your house. I'll tend to check out your collection. But until things straighten up in Chicago, we don't want no part of it. Let's see here. Super random question. Going through a hard time at the moment. Some advice for keeping a relationship or when in time to call it quits. I'm not sure I'm the best to ask that. Because I don't hardly quit at anything. It's just, I'm too stubborn to quit at things. I guess I'd have to know the ins and outs of your relationship. The only thing I can tell you is if you guys... I'll tell you what I told a friend of mine when he asked me. I said, if you can picture your woman with somebody else, then you're ready to move on. That's it right there. If you can close your eyes and just think of her with another man, or even somebody close to you, a friend or an acquaintance, and if it doesn't bother you or it doesn't send that twinge through you, then it's time to step off. That's the best advice I can give you. Jack Huckster said, you ever been to the UK still? I have not. I'm a felon. So you can't get a passport. It makes no sense to me. You figure you would want felons leaving the country, but no. Once you become a felon, they won't let you leave the country. You're stuck here. And it might be because no other country wants you coming through, but no. I'd love to go. I'd love to see Amsterdam. I'd love to see England. I'd love to see France, but it's never going to happen for me. So let's see here. Boulder 29 says, stay true to yourself, brother. I love it. Oh, we do. We keep it real around here. We keep it 110, and I think that's what part of it is that makes us, that's helped our growth of our channel and stuff, is because we are real and we, we're humble. I guess the best way to show it. El Tenda says, make sure you let me know in advance. I'll definitely. We'll see how it goes. We was going to come up there. This October, as a matter of fact, for the last flea market with Shagan, and my buddy Tyler was supposed to. Come with us. That was the only reason why we was going to go, because he has the permit to carry, and but Illinois with their gun laws made it where they don't recognize his permit to carry. It's like, well, if I can't go up there with somebody packing, I sure ain't going. So, tips for keeping positive: just know that no bad time lasts forever. That's what it is. It's like, you can sit and be miserable about things. It ain't going to help your situation any. Just know that don't stay dark forever. That's the only way I stay positive. You know, it's like if things are really, really bad, the only way to go is up. Okay, Jack Huckster, if you were a reseller, what job do you think you'd have? I would probably be stuck in some factory somewhere. That's what I did whenever I wasn't reselling, and of course that's what I did when I was reselling. Just a lot of factory work. I ran CNC lathes and mills, machines, you know, that you technically supposed to get schooling for. And I was running them at 2 or 3 separate jobs. I worked at Mosey's, I worked at Hinman's, and I worked at CarTech. All three running mills machines, which is a paid skilled labor if you go to school for it. But if you're taught in job, they can teach you that and only pay you about a fraction of what these guys who went to school and learned it in the union. So what I would do is if I wasn't doing this, I would probably be doing that. Let's see here. I don't blame you. Now we gun owners are the criminals here. That's right. I don't want to get into the politics or talk about things like that. And I can't even own a gun because I'm a felon, which makes it even more moot. But yeah, it's like if I can't come up there with my friend who's packing, then I don't want to come. There's too much shit going on in Chicago. So yeah, I hope that helps you out there, first class horror. Just tips for keeping positive. Just know that no bad time lasts forever. Life's what you make it. You know, it's like I don't let things get me down so much anymore, especially things I can't control. Why do you like the Magic? I was a product of the early '90s. The NBA was doing big. When I discovered the NBA was around the time that the league was expanding. You know, that time when they expanded the Timberwolves and the Orlando Magic, and so that's when I discovered the NBA. And then Shaq. Shaq was what really brought me to the Orlando Magic. Everybody knew who Jordan was, you know, and some of these other players, but Shaq was so dominant, so exciting. So I got to watching him, and then of course then they brought Penny Hardaway in, and then Dennis Scott, and then it just snowballed, and that was just my team for a lot of years. Let's see here. How's the dog? Dog's fine. He's he's doing what he does. He's put on a lot of weight since we've had him fixed. He's put on a lot of weight. He's gotten fat. We got a fat Dalmatian now, but that's to be expected. At least he's alive. Okay, did you collect any sports cards when you were a kid, and have you held on to any? I did collect a lot of sports cards. I sold most of them. What I do still have to this day is every single Penny Hardaway card I ever had. I collected every card of his I could get. I've got a collection of over like 100, 150 different Penny Hardaway cards, to the point now where I'm hard pressed to find a Penny Hardaway card I don't have. Let's see here. Thanks, bro. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Been watching for a long time and always happy to see you guys on my screen. Oh, good. Appreciate your support and thanks for watching. I hope anything I said helped you out here. I'm not exactly the person to ask on how to stay positive, how to maintain a relationship, but that's the best advice I got for you. He says, Shaq was the man. He got me to the Magic, too. He was amazing. Yeah, he was the most dominant player to ever play. But really, Shaq was what brought me in. But then I latched on to Penny Hardaway when he came in. You know, and that stemmed from my love of the Magic, because when I loved the Magic so much and I watched Shaq so much that it spilled over into other things. I bought Shaq's cassette, you know, when he rapped Shaq Diesel. And I listened to that whole thing, which is universally hated, but I loved the whole damn cassette. And then I played Shaq Fu because it was Shaq. Didn't matter if the game was bad or not. I convinced myself to like it. But then after that, it was Penny Hardaway. So let's see here. RCRC, hello. I love your videos. I love your live videos and answering and the chatting. Well, I try to do it every so often. I was supposed to be off here 23 minutes ago, but you guys have kept me going. I am going to be dipping off at least in the next 15 minutes or less. So make sure you get those questions in now. James Dave says, nice man. My guy to collect was Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Jr. was big when I was a kid, but I had a friend of mine who owned a hobby shop, and he was buying factory cases directly from Topps. Or no, Fleer. It was the Fleer rookie. Which Fleer? I can't remember which rookie card it was. Ken Griffey Jr. It was really hot at the time. But he was buying factory cases, opening these factory cases way back when, and was pulling out all the Ken Griffey Jr.'s and was sending them out to have them graded. And then he got back about 6 of them that they said were fakes. And I watched this man pull these out of this box. And then he sends them out to grading, and then they come back fake. So that actually there was one of them things that prevented me from ever sending out anything to have it graded. I've seen that stuff like that firsthand. So I had a big deal with Ken Griffey Jr. cards. I didn't mess with them because there were so many things considered to be fake. Nicholas Gocher says, Yo, Snow, what's up? Scott Anderson says, you watching the Rose or Sugar Bowl? I don't do college football. I don't. So, no, I won't be watching that. Let's see here. What else we got? The Tulsa Nostalgia Swap is April 28th, free admission. So, yeah, if you guys are around the Tulsa area, April 28th, you might check out the swap meet there. We got, ever considered doing a podcast? Yes, I have. Actually, here recently, I've discussed it with another YouTuber. His name's 80s Toys Rock. His name's Burf. El Tenda in here knows him. If you guys don't know Burf, go check him out. 80s Toys Rock, ROC. I reached out to him about maybe doing a podcast together, and he said he wanted to take a couple days and think about it and get back to me. Other than him, I have peers in the community that I would do podcasts with, but they already have their own established podcast. So if he says no, I would consider a podcast, but it's going to have to wait till either I find somebody that I would do one with, or me and Kat get enough free time where we could do one together. So yeah, it's up in the air whether we could do a podcast. It's being discussed, and we'll see what Burf has to say about it. Big love, bro, from the UK, off the bed. Sorry for the random question. No problem. I'm going to be dipping off here in the next 15 minutes anyway, so thanks for stopping in. We love our fans from across the pond. We're thankful for every one of you guys who support us. Ireland, England, Brazil, Germany, we got them everywhere. All right, like I said, we're dwindling down here. I am going to get off here at the 2-hour mark, regardless, because I promised Kat I wasn't going to be longer than 2 hours. So I hate to dip out on you guys when all the questions are going. So we got 14 minutes. Make sure you get them all in. Okay. I think I've answered most of the questions here. So if you got any more, get them in, or I'll dip out early on you. Yeah, the thing is I don't know. I'd like to do a podcast. I really would. I've been thinking about it a little bit, because there's no shortage of things to talk about, especially in our community, and especially with everything that me and Miss Cat deal with. You know, we could talk about VHS, we can talk about toys, video games. There's no shortage of episodes for a podcast. My thing with the podcast is I like Keith Vintage Sports Flips. I like his style of podcast because it's a live podcast. There's a lot of people I do watch who do the pre-recorded podcast, which are cool and all too, but I like the ones where you can talk to, you know, your viewers. It's more personal. You know, you're not shackled to whatever subject that you and your partner come up with in the podcast. You can take questions on the fly. Let's see here. You probably answered this already, but what items are you currently on your bucket list? Scratch the cat. You know, that's always one to look for. Hotspot, the Dalmatian, half-court giraffe. I got, there's a list, you know. We got a list of things we'd like to find. Let's see here. Were you an NWO Wolfpack or NWO Hollywood? I was red and black. The red and black. But you know, as I look back now, I wish I would have been more for the NWO white and black, you know, the Macho Man, you know, the Hulk Hogan. But you know, at that age in the Attitude Era, I was looking at them guys like they were old, you know. So so I followed Kevin Nash and Scott Hall over there to WCW for a certain period of time, and then when Sting joined the Red and Black, you know, that made a big deal. But I wasn't so much in WCW anyway. My time of watching WCW was very limited. I was into the Four Horsemen, you know, Ric Flair and them guys. I was into Vampiro was cool. Perry Saturn was all right, but I wasn't the biggest WCW person. Let's see what else we got on here. A podcast is a nice idea. I can see that. We'll talk about it. We'll get to it, hopefully. We got the best app to sell clothes on, Poshmark. There's no questions. Yeah, it's like, I take things to Poshmark. I won't even take to eBay. You know, I have some clothing listed on eBay, but very little. Do you like AEW or WWE? I don't like either anymore. I don't really keep up. I like I stopped watching wrestling around the time of John Cena's, you know, when he was at his peak. Got back into it last year or so, watching Cody Rhodes a little bit, but other than that, no, I don't keep up with it anymore, and I don't know anything about AEW. Too sweet. Yep. I miss the Attitude Era. I miss a lot. I miss all those wrestlers. But eventually, after a certain period of time, the storylines get unfollowable, and it's just not. Arn Anderson. I remember Arn Anderson. I really enjoyed the Hart Foundation. They're one of my things. I like the Hart Foundation. Shawn Michaels will always forever be my favorite wrestler. So I liked him back when he was with Marty Jannetty and the Rockers. That was my era of wrestling. I'd say from 89 to about 2000. Say, he says, I like old school wrestling better as well. Yeah, definitely. And me and Miss Cat just watched a documentary on Joe Montana. So Miss Cat found herself she got a new favorite football player. She didn't know who Joe Montana was. And after she watched this story, she really dug Joe Montana. So you guys need to check out I think it's on Peacock. The story of Joe Montana is really good. Let's see here. See, Cody Rhodes is the man. Yeah, Cody Rhodes is good. Yeah. But of course, I was from the Dusty Rhodes era, and then Gold Dust and all that. So, it's interesting to see a lot of these wrestlers' sons come in and take over things, kind of like basketball, basically. So many father and son, Steph and Dale. You got Tim Hardaway Jr. and Senior. You got all these guys who their dads played in the league, starting to make me feel really old now. Heartbreak Kid, hell yeah, yeah. Shawn Michaels, yep, he's my favorite. Like, down here on the shelf, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 action figures in the package, and 3 of those 5 action figures are Shawn Michaels. He says, me too, I was born in 1980. I was born in 86, but I can distinctly remember going to the grocery store here in town. When I was a kid, you had to go to the grocery store to rent your movies. So they had a lot of old wrestling, like WrestleMania VHS tapes when Hulk had wrestled Andre the Giant, and then, when it had wrestling with Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty when they were the Rockers. So I remember renting those old wrestling VHS tapes and watching the old wrestling, so that's how I was at least acclimated into wrestling in the 80s wrestling, as I watched it throughout the early 90s by renting the old VHS tapes. All right, we are down to the last 8 minutes here, so make sure you get them final questions in, because I am dipping off at the 2-hour mark. My voice is tired and I'm thirsty, and I want to spend the rest of the evening with Miss Cat because she's got to go back to work, not tomorrow, but the next day. So I used to always go rent the WWF tapes. Oh, yeah. I rented the same one 2 or 3 times. I just love watching them old matches. I'd like to go back now and rewatch some of those matches back in the day with Shawn Michaels and with Dudes with Attitude whenever he was with Diesel, Big Daddy Diesel. Like I said, I just don't have enough time nowadays. What's up with Dan Aykroyd and Miss Cat? That's just her thing. Miss Cat's a chubby chaser, I guess. I don't know. She's always had a thing for Dan Aykroyd. And it's funny that you guys brought that up because I just turned her on to a movie the other night called Dragnet. Have you ever seen Dragnet with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks? Miss Cat had never seen it, and I hadn't seen it in years. My dad had watched it the last time I remember seeing it, and we're about 20 minutes in. I had to convince her to watch it anyway, and we're about 20 minutes into it. And I said, so what do you think? She looks over and she goes, this is terrible. I have to finish it because it's Dan Aykroyd, but this is the worst movie I've seen. And then by the end of it, she's just the facts, ma'am, and she's got a new favorite friggin' movie. She's ready to watch it again. So you have to ask Miss Cat what her thing is with Dan Aykroyd. Miss Cat! Come in here. You ain't got to be on camera, but you got to stand behind the camera and tell these people what your thing is with Dan Aykroyd.
What?
The viewers want to know what is up with Miss Cat and Dan Aykroyd. So you don't have to be on camera.
He's hot.
Come on, closer behind the camera here so they can hear you. Miss Cat, what'd you say there?
He's hot.
She thinks he's hot.
Hey, Daddy.
And we got Striker in here. Okay, so
Come here, pizza.
he says, "Hell yeah, fetish right there." Is it a fetish, Miss Cat?
It's gotta be.
It's gotta
but
be.
Steve Martin is good looking too. I mean,
Miss Cat has a thing for Steve Martin too. She likes a lot of
John
Steve.
Candy, Chris Farley.
John Candy and Chris Farley. You got things for all those
They
guys?
have to make me laugh. If they make me laugh, it really doesn't matter what they look like.
Okay, you hear first. Miss Cat says laughter is key, and I guess Dan Aykroyd made her laugh a lot. What was your take on Dragnet, Miss Cat?
Oh, I love it. It's my new favorite movie.
Come back over here so he say a little louder. Hey, Laugh Out Loud, they call it the cult Dragnet movie. It's a cult movie. Says.
Is it?
Okay, so Miss Cat, had you never seen Dragnet before, had you?
No.
And now what did you say 20 minutes into Dragnet?
This is the boringest effing movie I've ever seen.
And then what did you say by the end of Dragnet?
Let's watch it again.
Yeah. Now the next thing for Miss Cat is I'm gonna turn her on to Spies Like Us. That's the next thing on the menu for her. I'm gonna get her watching Spies Like Us, Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd. I think she'll like that one. What else here? Well, I think that's about it here. We got 5 minutes left. Miss Cat's made her appearance, her cameo, and now you guys know what her thing is with Dan Aykroyd. I've known about her thing with Dan Aykroyd for a long time. I ain't threatened. He's 70-some years old now. We're excited to go see the new Ghostbusters movie, that's for sure. The Ghostbusters, I can't remember what it's called now. Arctic Freeze or something like that. We're definitely ready to go see that. We're down to the last 4.5 minutes. Make sure you get them last questions in here, because we're going to be dipping out very soon. Well, we're down to 15. We done dropped 5 people in the last few minutes. Does Miss Cat like My Girl or Driving Miss Daisy? I know she likes My Girl. We've watched it a few times. I don't know that she's seen Driving Miss Daisy. I don't think she had. I don't know. You have to ask her. She went back in the bedroom now. I haven't watched Driving Miss Daisy in years myself. But hell, I like My Girl. And see, I think I introduced Cat to My Girl too. I don't think she even knew there was a My Girl too until I showed her that. So now I try to find her as many Dan Aykroyd movies as I can. Because he was a great actor. I like him personally in The Great Outdoors with John Candy. That's one of my favorite Dan Aykroyd movies. Let's see here. Dan Aykroyd is in it. Oh yeah, he's in it. He's in the new. He's in the new Ghostbusters movie. Yep. We're excited. What we was just talking about that the other day is they should have done that sooner. You know, they should have done it before Harold was gone. It was like they wasted all that time doing that stupid ass women's Ghostbusters movie, and I'll say it, Answer the Call, whatever it was, when they could have got the cast together then and done something, and they would be 2 or 3 movies ahead of where they are right now. You know, they would have had more years to do it, because Bill definitely is showing his age, for sure. Okay, we're down to the last 3 minutes here. Get them in. Last questions. But we have our Ghostbuster shelf right up here, of course, and we got Dan Aykroyd. He's sitting right up there. But I just want to thank you guys for spending these 2 hours with me tonight. I come on here and intended to stay on an hour and a half, and you kept me on here for 2 hours. So, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. We love, we love engaging with you guys, and we just want to tell you guys. Well, I was excited to tell you guys about the sponsorships we got coming this year, and then the big plans we got coming this year. It's a big deal for us. We're excited to go to Retro Rick's. We're excited for Comic-Con. We're not going to be Casey in April this year when we go to Comic-Con. We're going to be another power couple, and then we're ready for the Horror Fest again, of course, and ready to go do that Bourbon on the Rocks again with Kane Hodder, because I have a feeling that's going to be an every year thing from here on out, as long as they offer it and as long as Kane's still around. So, Carrie Gil Martin says true. Okay, I think that's about it here. We're down to the last minute and a half. Any more? I got time for one more question if you get it in. Otherwise, we're going to say the goodbyes here, and we'll catch you guys on I don't know when the next live will be, probably sometime next week. We're going to be dropping a new video Saturday, as always, and it's going to be a good one. And I think it's going to even have a promotion in this week's upcoming video, if we can fit it in this week. If not, it'll be next. But, yeah, we're down to the last minute here, so loved it. I'm glad you guys stuck it out with me for these 2 hours here without Miss Cat's pretty face to look at. I know I ramble sometimes, but you guys kept the questions going, and definitely had a blast. Thanks for the live. Looking forward to the next video. It's going to be great. Man, if you haven't checked out our last video, go check out our 2023 recap. Help me get that thing over 1,000, because it's driving me crazy. And everybody else out there who's watching now on the live or who comes and watches on the rewatch, make sure that you comment and like on our videos as quickly as you can. Engage with them. Help us blow this channel up this year. That's the goal. We want to be at 6,000 subs by April, and hopefully by the end of the year we'd like to be somewhere way past that. We want this to be the 3rd year. We want this to be our year to blow up, and we want to bring you guys with us. So I hope Miss Cat gets to feeling better. I'll be praying for her. Thanks, guys. She'll be good. She's basically on her last day of the sickness. So like I said, she's about a day behind me and the baby. So she'll be back in action, and you guys will see her probably on our next live. But it's that 2-hour mark, so I'm gonna bid you guys adieu, and I'll see you guys next time. Maybe. There we go.